Gaming news today is all about the unexpected. First, The Last of Us Complete Edition has been announced. And no, I'm not joking. And I do have a video about it. We'll do that one later today. It's like the 18th time they've done this, right? Now, I'm going to walk through what this means for The Last of Us Part 3. I did hear some new information about The Last of Us Part 3. It is in that upload, so be sure to check that out. It's The Truth About The Last of Us Complete Edition. If you see that thumbnail, that's the video, right? Second, we have Xbox Showcase 2025 leaks. So some big name things going to be at this event, and an interesting reason or a theory as to why they won't be doing an in-person showcase, and they opted to do a digital-only event. I actually think it's a pretty good theory, and I'll tell you why. I'll also, third, give you my first impressions of Blueprints. It was a game that I was interested in, but in an unexpected way, it really, really hooked me. And I do have a game for your wish list and your radar. It was one of the standouts yesterday from the Triple I stream that we covered. If you guys missed that, it was a lot of fun. It's in the second half of yesterday's past broadcast. Now, if you want to support the channel directly, there are easy ways to do that. You can hit like right now. Even if you're watching this later, hitting that thumbs up button is a huge help. Hit subscribe. Also make sure that your notifications are set to all. And then if you want to get into all of the extra shows that we do, I've got a show tomorrow. I'm going to be doing IRL. I will be hanging out in my backyard, eating a steak, and celebrating a new milestone for the channel. There's Friday night streams with my wife. There's Green Room. There's Morning Coffee. Those are all these extra shows. You're only getting access to this show if you're not supporting the channel directly with the membership. So if you decide to jump in, hit join and pick Member Plus. You'll get into all that extra stuff. It's basically the cost of a cup of coffee every single month. So what on earth is going on with The Last of Us Complete Edition? So in case you missed it, PlayStation announced the Complete Edition. It's $100. It includes both of the games, all the DLC, the Rogue Mode, everything else, right? Contrast this to, Nintendo not even including everything in the Zelda games that's getting a lot of criticism. But it's basically the complete story is what they're calling it. They literally, it just flashed on the screen, right? They also have the Collector's Edition for $120. That's going to be available only through PlayStation Direct on July 10th. And yes, this does feel like a meme at this point, but here's the thing. I'm not interested in this at all. I own both games. I have no reason to buy this. It is primarily, I would think, for super fans or even new fans who are looking to get into the second game since the second season is about to start. Season 1, every time they had a new episode in Season 1, there was a surge of sales for the game, like every single week. I think they want something more official in place when Season 2 starts, but what does this mean for The Last of Us Part 3 if they're calling this the complete story? Well, you'll have to check out my video where I talk about that and also talk about what I've heard about it. So, by and large, I think people are going to be upset about this rather needlessly. No development time went into this. No extra work went into it. It's just a repackaged both games, probably mostly for new customers. It would be nice if longtime fans could get the collector's edition swag and stuff and pictures without having to buy the games again. Like they could sell that for like $20 or $30, so like long-standing fans could buy it. So that's what I think on the matter. Leave a comment below with what you think. I like to hear what people think on these different subjects. So then we also have some leaks about the Xbox Showcase for 2025. Now, Xstasis has claimed that the following games will be at the Xbox Showcase. So Persona 4 Remake, it's planned to release later this year. The Gears of War Collection. We're hearing that Gears of War E-Day will not be shown during the showcase. It'll have a separate event called Gears Direct that is planned for it. And then the Gears of War Collection will definitely be shown at the showcase coming up in June. Minecraft Dungeons 2 will be there. That's exciting. I really enjoyed that for a time with my kiddos. Ninja Gaiden 4, Hollow Knight Silksong, there it is. We're finally going to see it. I kept telling people that I thought that Hollow Knight was going to make an appearance with Xbox because they seemed to have the marketing deal with Team Cherry. Now, Ecstasis also speculated as to why they're not doing an in-person showcase. There's fear of backlash when they announce things like the Gears collection as a multi-plat game going to PlayStation. Now, you're going to dismiss this and think that that's preposterous, but I just want you to consider something. It would be really easy for just a few people, really, I mean, one person is all it takes, to shout something profane, to yell boo. I mean, a bunch of people could just start booing when they see the Gears collection revealed to be going to PlayStation. If you remember the Indiana Jones One More Thing that Jeff Keighley did coming to PlayStation, I went back and rewatched it. It's kind of awkward. The cheering is pretty muted. It's pretty tepid. It feels sort of strange. Nobody really knows how to react. It's kind of like, oh, that's the One More Thing. So I think they're worried about that kind of bad vibe or awkward moment. The last thing Xbox One is a clip of Phil Spencer being booed at their own showcase because, you know, there could be a few fans that are angry, or maybe they're just looking to cause trouble or be funny. It really doesn't matter, I don't think. I'm looking forward to the Xbox showcase. Feel free to let me know if you're looking forward to the Xbox showcase. We'll be co-streaming it, so leave a comment below with your own thoughts on this one. And then I'm going to give you my thoughts on Blueprints. Blueprints is a game that sort of came out of nowhere, and, you know, Shuhei Yoshida said it was going to be a Game of the Year contender. Now, it's hard to explain the game without actually, like, showing you the game, but I'm going to do my best. It's basically a puzzle game with RNG and sort of rogue elements. So you're essentially trying to navigate your way through the house. Every room can contain either some type of currency to help you navigate through the house or tools. You also are trying to make sure that you don't close yourself off because you're using doors to get through the home. And the way that the game proceeds is, I actually think, is very, very enjoyable. The way they set it up is you basically are trying to navigate, and once you run out of rooms or run out of steps, you have to kind of like take the day off. I thought that the systems and the puzzles were very intuitive and very fun. It was immediately kind of addicting. Like, I wanted to do one more day because, like, once you have to sort of like take the day off, you start over the next day, everything has been reset. So I was already sort of feeling that pull of just one more. I want to get one more in. So I really liked it. This one's definitely going in the backlog as I work through AC Shadows right now. This is a really fun one. We're going to have my wife stream it on a Friday night. That's another great reason to be a member. So I would definitely check this one out and give it a go. And let me know in the comments below what you think if you have played it. All right, so I also now have a game for your wish list and your radar. We like to do these right at the very, very end of the show opens, and this one's called Void Breaker. Now, you got to put like a slash in between Void and Breaker, and this comes from the one-man studio who made the Entropy Center, which that's a great game. If you like Portal 1 and 2, if you like puzzle games like that, definitely check out Entropy Center. It's very creative. Now, this game, Void Breaker, is described as an adrenaline-fueled roguelite FPS. You fight relentless machines driven by a hostile AI. You're going to escape an endless cycle. You craft infinite weapon variants with deep gun modding. You forge deadly synergies, carve your way through enviro destruction. Now, we watched a deep dive of this game after with the developer, and it looks so stinking awesome. The weapon ability combinations that he was walking us through looked really, really cool, but you have to be careful. If you use too many of them early on, you won't have as many of them for later in your run, and it will really limit your build options. The later you get, you might need certain things for certain enemies. Everything is completely destructible. Not everything, but for the most part, a lot of the environment's completely destructible. You're like bringing them down on the heads of the enemies and making them stunned, and then they take more damage. Movement, graphics, it all looks great. They are doing a playtest of this game right now on Steam. It started yesterday, April 10th. It runs to April 24th. It's coming to Xbox, PlayStation, and Steam in 2025. So we don't have a release date yet, but definitely put Void Breaker on your wish list and your radar. So that's the show open. That's the news. Now it's time for the discussion. So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Guys, make sure and smash the like button. We greatly appreciate all of your support lately to the channel. Membership goal, we're a little teeny bit behind, but that's okay. And somebody ordered some soda. Guys, make sure and use the soda command. We do work with Sprecher. So listen, if you are a soda drinker, but you don't like caffeine, they make theirs with raw honey, and it tastes really, really good. I'm not a big soda drinker. I'm not a root beer drinker, but I like their orange cream, their cherry cola, their root beer. It all tasted so good. So use that soda command. Somebody already ordered some this morning. If you're not a soda drinker and you're a coffee drinker, use the coffee command. We have our own coffee. The coffee's not a sponsor. Reforge Roast is ours. And we have that available to you, and we ship that right directly from our house. You'll get like a thank you note from my wife and kiddos. And a 5-bomb, the first 5-bomb of the day. Han shot first, and so did you. Thank you so much. Cactar King, and that gets us to 272. And every 25 members, I gift 5 back to the community. Getting there, Jay, came down with pneumonia. Oh, you had pneumonia? Yikes. That is not fun at all. I didn't realize it was a showcase leak. There was a showcase leak. They announced the official date, but then Ecstasis started saying what was going to be there. Gears of War E-Day will not be there, according to Ecstasis. Gears of War is going to have its own direct later. And a single gift that comes in from Cisco. Thank you so much, Cisco, and gets us a little bit closer to the next milestone of me owing you guys members. That was me. Oh, you're trying a variety pack? Well, I hope you enjoy it, Sorcerer. Enjoy that Sprecher soda, man. Thank you so much. I do know the connection, but does it really feel okay with everything? Like ketchup's awesome with... Oh, I don't know what you guys are talking about. Trying to show my dogs the value of a pool on a hot day, and I'm losing. Oh, they don't want to get in? Well, you got to watch out, because once they want in, they're never going to want to get out. You know what I mean? They'll just constantly want to go out there and jump in. And a 5-bomb comes in from Sneaky Wolf. We got a bit of a member train starting this morning, and buddy, we need it. We had to take a day off on Monday because my house was flooding, and we were really tired, and I needed a day to rest because beating the water was not easy. And we are now a little behind on that weekly goal, but you guys are making it trundle along all throughout the week, and thank you for that. Do you think they will announce the PS5 release of Gears at the showcase or keep it separate? Oh no, I think from here on out, Phil Spencer indicated that when you watch an Xbox showcase, there will be the logos for Nintendo and PlayStation. They're not going to shy away from it anymore. They're not going to like make it cheeky or make it subtle or, save it for the trailer later. It's going to be in the showcase. Like he made that very clear in an interview recently. I think it was back when he was doing his round of interviews where he spoke to it was the time where he said they want their hardware to win, but it was also the time where he said they're not trying to win people over to Xbox anymore, about exclusives and stuff. And he indicated that when you watch these showcases now, you're going to see the logos. So this is why Ecstasis theorized and said that's why they're not doing an in-person event, because if they did an in-person event, there could be a negative response to that announcement, right? Somebody would say, listen, I'm upset about this, or I'm happy about this, or whatever, right? It could be somebody that's excited and wants to rub it in the Xbox guy's face, and they make it an awkward moment, right? Or it could be somebody that's upset, and they're like, boo. And all it takes is one guy yelling boo, and then you've got a clip that would go viral. It'd be millions of views on Twitter. That Xbox doesn't want that. They don't want that kind of a moment floating around out there. So Digital Foundry did a Switch 2 Mario Kart World footage examining technology and features, and we like what we see. Just look at the difference, okay? The people that were saying that it didn't look that impressive. So that's Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on the left, and on the right here we have Mario Kart World. Come on, y'all. Are we seriously? Come on, man. This is a nice jump up in everything. Yeah, I'm anxious to see what Digital Foundry had to say in their video. The one on the left is supposed to be a road. Well, I mean, and the further clips they had like the ice showing and stuff. So, yeah, I've liked the look of the event. I'm not the event. I'm sorry. I've liked the look of Mario World since that we didn't know the name of it, but when they did that first Switch 2 trailer, I was like, that it's looking really, really good. For some reason, people only remember how they thought the game looked, not how it actually looked. I'm guilty of this myself. I went through that with Jedi Fallen Order to Jedi Survivor, right? Jedi Fallen Order versus Jedi Survivor. I remember thinking, yeah, Jedi Survivor doesn't look that much better. And then I went and watched actual footage of Jedi Fallen Order, and I was like, oh my gosh, Jedi Survivor looks so much better. It was like night and day difference. Did Digital Foundry use the frame rate counter from the TV, or did they use their frame rate tool? I saw a guy do that with Assassin's Creed Shadows. He said he was playing balanced mode at 120, and I'm like, no, because his TV registered it as 120, and I tested it. Mine did the same thing. I'm like, no. You're getting 40 FPS. It's 120 refresh rate, like, and your TV's basically misreading the refresh rate as, well, that's the frame rate. Old Nintendo games just age well, so the difference doesn't seem as drastic. I think that's fairly stated. I think that's fair, Chicago Bulls. That, especially Mario Kart, because there's only so much you can do with the characters and the carts and the tracks, right? Like, it has to look a certain way. So obviously, Mario Kart World isn't going to suddenly land and look like Gran Turismo or something. But I would say the bump up, especially in a side-by-side, is very, very noticeable. The TV reads the refresh rate, which is not always the same. That's right. I went back to the OG Gran Turismo around the Gran Turismo 4 era. I remembered the OG as photorealistic. It was like 8 pixels per car in reality. I learned that day. It's really interesting how that happens. Like, your memory of a game can be very different than the game actually is. Like, I was playing the Turok remaster, and it was like, I thought I had another sneeze. Sorry. I was playing the Turok remaster on my PlayStation, and all the sounds took me back. But there were multiple times I was like, I don't remember any of this. I didn't remember that, like, the enemies constantly respawned. I didn't remember it being so puzzly. I remember just fighting dinosaurs. That was, like, all I really remembered. You said 2 days ago that they could make Yoshi look like a photorealistic T-Rex. I spilled my drink laughing out loud. Well, that's what I was asking people. I was like, what do you expect them to do with Mario Kart? You know, it has to work within the framework of the genre and the art style. I mean, I think that is that's a pretty common thing. Given where bleeding edge tech is at the moment, it's an exciting thought that Nintendo have so much headroom left over the next few decades. Yeah, you're still going to deal with, third-party games going over and being, a substantial step down. It'll be interesting to me that it'll be really interesting late gen this gen. Like, what are people going to think of the Nintendo? Are they going to be like, oh my gosh, the Nintendo games are great, but good golly, the third-party stuff's really starting to show the weakness of the device. Your memory of an old game adds 4K textures, ray tracing, smooth gameplay. It does. I remember the Turok PvP that we would play. I forget which Turok had the PvP. It might have been Turok 2. I remember specifically them, the frame rate dropping every time somebody threw a grenade. It would make everyone's screen flash. So it was bad. I remember being like, please stop throwing grenades. I think we actually just told people that they couldn't do it anymore. Blades of Fire is going to have a demo on April 16th. We're giving out, through there. Yeah. I would love to be involved. Yeah, that game looks sick. I would love to be involved in your demo. I played GoldenEye multiplayer a few days ago, and all I could think was, how is I ever good at this game? Yeah, dude. Yeah, GoldenEye GoldenEye will really humble you. You're like, dude, I was a god at GoldenEye. And now you go back and try and play it, and you're like, I'm not the man I once was. Do you believe the view that the $80 game price is in place just to force people into buying the console or the game bundle? I don't think that's what they're trying to do. No. Here's a question I have about what's actually in the headline with the Xbox showcase, and Xstasis is saying there's going to be a Gears of War Direct. All right, there's the developer Direct at the beginning of the year, right? So my question is, are they going to just start doing regular Directs? Which I would welcome this. I think this would be awesome. A Call of Duty Direct, a Gears of War Direct, and we know they're doing the Outer Worlds 2 Direct. I think that'd be sick because Xbox owns so much property. They could regularly be doing, like every other month, they could have a really great event just for one game. Just like, and obviously kick off the year, kick off every year with the developer Direct, where they go to the studios and they get to interview people and talk about, the game that they're working on. But I think that could be a great use of how much property they have. Because right now, this is when do we typically hear about the newest Call of Duty? Shouldn't we have heard about the latest Call of Duty by now? I would assume that would be something that they would have already announced, unless they're waiting for the showcase. Don't you think they would want to have it already announced at the showcase, the summer? When did they announce Black Ops 6? Did they announce Black Ops 6 at the showcase? Wait. I think that's how they did it last year, because didn't we not know the name of the Black Ops of the game because they said there was going to be a Call of Duty event? Didn't they have the name redacted so that we didn't even know the name of the game prior to the event? I felt like that was something that was kept secret. Didn't Black Ops 6 just come out not that too long ago? I think they're going back to annual releases. Black Ops 6 name revealed. When did they reveal the name? Official Call of Duty Black Ops 6 reveal was in May, it looks like. It looks like they did it in May. The worldwide reveal was... And then they did the thing in June. Yes, on May 23rd, after the official announcement, Xbox presented the same key art, now revealing the name. Okay, so I was actually off on that. I would have assumed by now that we would hear about the next Call of Duty. Black Ops 6 wasn't even revealed as the name until late May last year. So it stands to reason whatever the annual Call of Duty is, we'll hear about it probably next month. And then I'm assuming they're going to at least want to have it as a part of the showcase. They never stopped doing... They said they were going to stop doing yearly releases, and then 6 months later they're like, yeah, we were just kidding. we're definitely going to be doing annual Call of Duty releases. To me it's confusing why they went back on it so fast, but I think they saw the potential revenue and they said, well, we should probably still do that. That's true, Ginger. The next Call of Duty should also be on the Switch too, if they're going to make good on that commitment that they made to the regulators. Guys, make sure you're smashing the like button. Try to get us to 200 likes as quickly as you can. It's Friday. We've got a full day of stuff for you. Call of Duty is just too much, in my opinion. I just aged out of PvP a long time ago. I don't like it. I'm not interested in it, and I'm just too old now to really even compete. I like laughing and goofing off in PvP for maybe a couple of days, See my above comment, please. I want your reaction. Zubair said, My new prediction is that the new $80 tier is going to create a $50 tier. Games are either premium AAA or they're not. Nobody's going to want to be at 60 or 70. I like that prediction. Yeah, I like that prediction. I told people that I thought that's what we were headed towards. Not the same thing you're saying, Zuby, but I thought we were headed towards seeing more games dropping at like 50, 60, 70, 80, all across that spectrum. Expedition 33 could be one of the first games to really showcase how successful that can be, because their game's pretty sizable. It's like a 30-hour game. It looks like it's at AAA quality. It looks incredible from a graphics as well as a gameplay standpoint. And they're only charging $50 for their game. So it'll be interesting to see if that has an impact on the market, and like other studios and publishers say, hey, 50 and 60 is actually kind of a sweet spot. You can stand out in the market right now. People are tired of paying 70, and now we've got an $80 game. GTA 6 is probably going to be 80 as well. That's been my prediction. And so you might be able to find some momentum in the market by not being at that full price. You might. I'll take an $80 ceiling if we get more releasing below 70 and 60. Yeah. Adamfall has attracted 2 million players since launch, and they've eaten 14 million tins of meat. Carpal tunnel testing sucks. My hand feels better, but I'm still dealing with what is essentially from wringing out the towels and stuff over the weekend for the flood that we had. My hand is still bothering me. Liza P. Publisher Brown Dust 2 is going viral for all the wrong reasons you can imagine. Oh yeah. That game, I'm not even going to show it to you guys. I showed it in the green room yesterday. That's a great reason to be a paying member to the channel. But that is, that is something. I am not comfortable showing that to you guys right now. It's beyond anything that ever even showed up in Stellar Blade. I threw my back out starting a lawnmower. There is it getting old. You can sleep. It's the same developers. No. It's the publisher, JC. The publisher. Did you like Blueprints? I really did like Blueprints. It was very straightforward. It was easy to kind of start to navigate and figure out some strategies. Jason Schreier had some tips. He was basically like, spawn new rooms. Don't always spawn the same rooms. No super chat goal. Oh, let me set the super chat goal. Sorry. Let's see here. There we go. I will gift a member. But yeah, the Blueprints game I really, really liked. Like, I actually had to force myself to boot up AC Shadows last night. I was like, I want to play Blueprints. I want to try one more time. And I was like, no. No, Blueprints is like the perfect Portal game too. So Yasuke can reach most high places. It just requires some puzzle solving. Yeah, I'm not sure what you're supposed to do. I was in one of the shrines where you have to get the paper, and I'm like, I have no idea how to get up there with him. I'll just come back as Naue. I threw my back out brushing my teeth. Sit down, young man. Yeah. Jason Schreier says for Blueprints, draft rooms you've never seen before, stockpile resources and draft dead ends on lower ranks. Progress isn't having a lengthy run, it's learning new things. And then if you're feeling aimless, look for the room called the study. You played? I played Blueprints yesterday, on the channel. And Lord Horg with the 22 renewal, loving the new Portal update. Oh, to the cloud. That gets us to 2 $279. We're really going to struggle to hit the goal this week, and we really need to hit the goal this week because I took a whole day off, and we were dealing with the flood last weekend, and we haven't had the damage assessed yet. I think it's going to be minimal, but there's no way to know until they actually get in here. You can't really see a difference in the Mario Kart comparisons. You can't see a difference in Digital Foundry's video. It's just pretty stark. With games like Expedition 33 on the horizon, I think the advent of the $80 game will spawn more games in the same space as Expedition 33. If we go down that route, I'll be happy. Yeah, I mean, in many people's minds, that certainly would make Nintendo still sort of villainous in the discussion, but it would result in good things for the consumer, I would say. Does anyone else get Horizon Zero Dawn from AC Shadow sometimes? I think it's the flute and some of the menu sound effects. The open spaces in the trees and the foliage, yeah, very much so. Yeah, I saw the Vampire Survivors update. We covered the Triple I stream yesterday, and it was announced there. Yeah. Guys, we didn't get a bump. Make sure YouTube's not being weird with the like count again. We should be able to hit 200 likes like that, and it moved like 3 likes. So make sure it's saving your thumbs up real quick. Everybody check. I've not tried any of the Sherlock Holmes games. No. There's no way you're scaling pagodas with Yasuke. Yeah, I don't think you can get up every building. I don't think that that's true. Did you see P-Rock's thumbnail about the Nintendo Switch graphics? No, I did not. I know that Porter Rock and other people are being critical of the Nintendo. I know they are. Yeah, he says Switch 2 graphic upgrade, and he has like a rivet from Ratchet and Clank on there. Like I'd have to watch his video or try to have a discussion with him to understand. And Gambit Zero with the 20 bomb says we're gonna try to get as close as we can to the goal, and he gets us to 299. We're one away from 300. I will owe you guys a 10 bomb at the 300. Thank you so much, Gambit Zero. Indiana Jones native 4K with all the advanced ray tracing features at 60 FPS. Oh, the PS5 Pro enhancements have been announced for the PS5 Pro. Experience next level realism and image clarity with native 4K resolution and advanced ray tracing. Wow. That's crazy. And a single comes in from Gambit Zero. He lands the 300 plane by himself, and then Mike on the mic is going to be the Agents of Chaos. Thank you so much, Mike on the mic. I currently owe you guys 10 members. Thank you very, very much. A $5 super chat tip from Luke Vaders. Are we expecting a PlayStation Plus price increase now that Australia and 16 other countries were hit? I don't know. Probably. Generally, I think all subs are going to get bumped this year again. There was a rumor about a Game Pass bump in April. PS just had their bump. We're probably going to get bumps across the board. I wouldn't be surprised if all the TV sub services are getting ready to do it too. There we go. We're a lot closer to 200 likes now. We need 15 more. You guys crushed it. P-Rock said is that Nintendo fanboys should stay out of the graphics fight. Yeah, I mean, I'll defend the Nintendo Switch 2 graphics. I think they are at a great ceiling for Nintendo, right? That's how I'm always going to qualify it. It's like, yeah, the games look great for Nintendo. I don't buy a Nintendo for, Horizon Forbidden West or Assassin's Creed Shadows level graphics. That's not why I get it. What are your predictions on the Xbox June showcase? You think Forza Horizon 6 will have a reveal? Maybe. It's been a while, hasn't it? Yeah, it's been a while. They did, Forza Horizon 5 years ago. So, yeah, it might be time for Forza Horizon to show up. Do the graphics serve the game? Right. I mean, we've all played games that fixate on graphics, and it doesn't make the game better. It makes the game run poor. I mean, you know what I mean? Switch 2 still won't be able to help MK1. Some of those comparisons are gold. Dude. Like Street Fighter and MK coming over to the Switch 1. I was like, holy mackerel. It was like soup. Forza Horizon 5 released in 2021. Oh, 2021. You're right. I'm sorry. 2021. So yeah, it's been 4 years. Yeah, it's probably time for an announcement. I could see them announcing Forza Horizon 6 and it having a release date of 2026. I don't think Xbox is going to announce anything that's coming out this year that hasn't already been announced. Like, they'll obviously talk about, Doom the Dark Ages will have already been out at that point during the June showcase, but they'll probably make reference to all the games that have come out. South of Midnight, Avowed, Doom the Dark Ages. Then they'll probably talk about, what's the other one coming later this year that's slipping my mind all of a sudden, that we don't know the date for. Outer Worlds 2. Well, Outer Worlds 2 has its own direct. But if they announce anything like that, it'll probably have a release date in 2026 would be my guess. Like Gears of War Collection, I think, is dropping fairly soon after the announcement. But like the Gears of War E-Day Direct that they're having, I'm pretty sure that that's next year. There are people that think that Gears of War E-Day might land this year. That's obviously a distinct possibility. But like Forza Horizon 6 or Perfect Dark or State of Decay 3 or, any of those titles that Xbox could kind of pull out of the hat, those probably all have 2026 release dates. I don't know if they'll do anything with Fable. I troll the trolls. They probably don't want to have Fable in the... that'd be a sore subject, wouldn't it? The fact that Fable got delayed out of this year, and we've been hearing about it for how long? I would imagine it might be time for Fable to take a back seat and not show up. Dark Taco with 30 months of membership says, Happy Friday. Guys, double check. If you're paying for your own membership, you want to make sure you're at the Member Plus tier. If you're at Member Lite, because it's gifted, that's totally fine. I know there's a lot of folks in a tough spot right now. We're happy to have you be on a gifted, but you don't want to be paying for Member Lite. You're basically missing out on content. It's $1 more to upgrade, and then we can distinguish between paying members and gifteds. I completely forgot about Fable being delayed. Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, the Fable pre-alpha gameplay they showed us is promising, but it's like, it doesn't look like it's super far along. It looks a little rough, especially considering we were told, how many times did we have that debate about the Fable trailers? Oh, that's real gameplay. That's real gameplay. And it was like, no, it's not. That's clearly simulated gameplay. That's not real gameplay. And then when they finally show real gameplay, it's markedly a step down from what they had been showing us. Joker Quinn with a gifted member. Thank you so much. That gets us to 302. We got a ways to go today. You guys sometimes go crazy on Friday. We'll see if we can scramble and hit the goal. We just are on the cusp of 200 likes as well, so thank you. They've been talking about it for years now. Right. State of Decay 3 will be the same. Yeah, Fable sounds like development's having a rough go. What happened to Blade? Blade was simply announced, and I think even when they announced it and did interviews, they made it clear that it was a ways away. I think Blade's like 2026 or 2027 maybe. I don't think it's any time soon. They just announced it. What was it, like end of... when was that? End of 2023 when they announced it? It was the Game Award. Am I getting the timeline right? I'm having a hard time remembering this stuff now because it's like every year bleeds together. Variety coverage is a little bit more challenging. Like when you cover one game, you can kind of remember everything in relation to like DLCs and seasons. Blade's not happening. Oh no, I think Blade's still happening. The Blade movie. The Blade movie doesn't seem to be happening. So we shall see. It's been so long since the last Fable game. I went back to playing Fable 3 last year, the old Xbox 360 nostalgia. It was 2 Christmases ago. Yeah. It was 2023. Yeah, so I don't know if Blade will be there. It would be awesome to finally get maybe some gameplay or something, but I think Blade is still a ways away. I think it's probably 2026. I'm not going to play Blade unless he looks like Wesley Snipes. They already showed him. I think he looks awesome. I don't think he looks like Wesley Snipes, though. Xbox Kojima game. Yeah, the Xbox Kojima game could be there. If you guys are just tuning in, we're kind of talking about some of the expectations for the Xbox Showcase 2025. There were some leaks about what will be there, and I would say, yeah, the Kojima game could be there. It's been a while since they've done anything with that. The annual Call of Duty will probably be there. The Clockwork Revolution, could show up with the 2026 release date. State of Decay 3, all these games could show up. And OD and Fizzant were delayed. Yeah, maybe, I'm not sure. I feel that the Blade movie should cast someone who can do martial arts, not an actor. Well, yeah, we don't really need to. That's not on topic. I don't want to. You start talking about that. Those aren't video games, right? They're tangentially related, but that can really mess with where the video lands. Whatever Double Fine's working on. Yeah, the Gears collection will allegedly be there according to Ecstasis. And every time we've heard about the Gears collection, it's been that it'll be a shadow drop or it'll release very close to the announcement. So we shall see. We shall see. I like the game because the gameplay was decent and the story wasn't bad. Are they going to have any One More Thing announcement there? Oh, I don't know about any One More Thing announcements. Mafia the Old Country looks dope. Mafia the Old Country is definitely another Game of the Year contender on the calendar year for sure. They don't always show in-house, so I'll predict that they give us an update on Judas. Oh, there'll definitely be some third party there. Yeah. Judas could be there. Hollow Knight Silksong is third party, and according to Ecstasis, Hollow Knight Silksong will be at the Xbox Showcase 2025. So that is happening. The only thing I'm curious about is how will these Microsoft games look on the PS5 Pro. Well, we're hearing Indiana Jones will be native 4K with advanced ray tracing on the PS5 Pro because Indiana Jones is PS5 Pro enhanced. We have yet to see what the details are of Doom the Dark Ages PS5 Pro gameplay. We don't know. We'll have to wait and see. So, your doctor gave you some spray for your leg. Well, I hope it helps, Ice Queen Gaming. The new name for the showcase is Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo Showcase. Well, no, I know you're being cheeky, but here's the thing. I actually have always enjoyed the Xbox showcases. They've always been my favorite of the showcases. Back in the day, I would always say that they were better than the PlayStation one. So PlayStation stopped going, but when PlayStation was there in 2016, 2017, and 2018, I was very critical. The one year they had an intermission. They had people in a room with a guitar, and they had lights for Last of Us 2. And then they left the room and went to another room, and we all had to wait. Everybody literally had to get up and walk out. So I've always loved the Xbox showcases. I've always thought they were better. I've always thought, Phil Spencer did a good job. And this year is digital only, which I'm okay with. I will say this. Them doing digital only, Ecstasis sort of theorized they were worried about backlash when they're announcing things like Gears of War Collection being multiplat. I actually think Ecstasis has got a pretty good theory. I actually think that they don't want to give, one person, honestly, a couple of friends who want to make a little funny moment and go viral. They could all yell boo, and then then you have a terrible clip. It's Gears of War Collection for, Xbox, PlayStation, and then boo. You don't want that clip. Yeah, Nick, I see your tweet, Nick, of you kissing your PlayStation 5 Pro. I wish I could be lighthearted about all of this stuff that you guys, troll each other with on Twitter with the console warring. But man, some of those guys just got so nasty during ABK. I can't get into it. I wish I could. I don't have the disposition for it. I don't. I get irritated with people. I can't even recall the last time Xbox delivered a year or two later from the previous showcases. Yeah, Fable's keeping the streak alive, isn't it? Xbox has basically had a pretty significant streak of the showcase trots out games, dates, and then nothing shows up on time. Well, not nothing, but a bunch of it doesn't show up on time. And Fable is keeping that streak alive. I would hope going forward that stops because they own so much content. They own so much content that's not needed. My member renewal didn't pop up. Did it not come in the chat? Let me look. Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it on the fan funding page. Fable, State of Decay, Contraband, Replaced. Yeah, they've had a pretty long running streak of showcases where a bunch of what they show doesn't show up on time. So for whatever reason, they've had that streak going for a while. Now there's theories that they're trying to keep people on Game Pass. That's probably a pretty good theory. But going forward, I don't think they need to do that. I think they can be a lot more selective with what they show because they own so much property. And Milk Dud with 18 months says, Xbox better. Thank you for 18 months. And then JW gifts a member and gets us to 304. Thank you so much. Long story short, you guys are debating the Fable games. If you like all the Xbox games, just save your money and get Game Pass on your PC. Game Pass on PC still is the best deal. I agree with that. Dynamite J with 9 months. YouTube live streaming works today. Yesterday, some streams did not load. Only Incognito fixed it. I can definitely tell that we're not having the issues we were having yesterday. And that's a member plus from Dynamite J. And then Dwayne with 35 months. Dude, you're so stinking close to 3 years. And that gets us to 306. 306, guys. Make sure and celebrate those renewals. And thank you for the gifted JW. And thank you everybody who's continued to support the channel directly with a membership. We greatly appreciate it. You get all the extra shows. You get all the extra content. And it means a lot to us. So thank you very much. It either doesn't show up on time or it does show up on time and it comes out needing all kinds of patches. Yeah, that trend is seemingly and hopefully stopping. Because Avowed was rough, but it certainly wasn't as bad as Redfall and Forza Motorsport. So Avowed was in a rough state, but I wouldn't consider that to be abysmal or bad. South of Midnight was in a very good state. I think they could polish the combat, but overall, I thought South of Midnight felt great. I really did. I thought it felt great, looked great, ran great. South of Midnight is actually a very strong game graphically, in my opinion. I think it looks fantastic. And then Doom: The Dark Ages is right around the corner. And then the Outer Worlds gameplay over at IGN, that screen tearing, if you remove the screen tearing, it's actually a good-looking game. I actually think Outer Worlds 2 is a very good-looking game from a lighting and art direction and graphics perspective. So I actually think this could be the year that Xbox has a very consistent cadence and very consistent quality because I think they're off to a very good start. Xbox just published it. I thought they own it's Compulsion, right? Compulsion Studios parent company. No, Compulsion Studios is a subsidiary of Xbox Game Studios. Yeah. Compulsion Games. Yeah, that's theirs. Yeah, like I said, they've had a very strong start this year. I think it's going to be Xbox's strongest year this gen. It's going to be their strongest year this gen. Even without Fable, it's their strongest year. I mean, they're going to have 4 very, very strong games. And don't forget that Indiana Jones just came out at the end of last year. That's the best run they've had the entire gen. They're obviously, making up for lost time a little bit, but credit where credit's due. The studios are starting to bring the quality to the market. And that's all I've ever cared about. Don't rush the games. Don't push them out just so you can hit your checkmark cadences for Game Pass. Bring out quality products. Is there not their third showcase already this year? Wait. They did the developer direct. They did the partner one, didn't they? Wait, did the partner one ever happen? Am I imagining things? Wasn't there supposed to be a partner? Wasn't there supposed to be a partner stream or something? They're good games, but not amazing games. The combat's mid, but the story, sound, and the graphics are great. User score on Metacritic is useless. Yeah, who cares about the user score on Metacritic? People just go there and can review bomb. I've never given any stock to the user score on Metacritic. The user score on Steam and PlayStation are the most reliable. I think they're the best places to go. He's talking about the Indie Game Showcase. Indie Game Showcase. Yeah, what was that called? Was that just ID at Xbox? Xbox Indie Game Showcase. When was that? That was in February. Yeah. That was in February. I forgot about that. So they did the developer direct. They did the ID at Xbox thing. I thought there was supposed to be an Xbox partner showcase in March. Didn't Ecstasis say there was going to be one? I don't remember. I don't think it happened. Dark Taco says, Lono, I don't maintain recurring payments for Game Pass PC, but I might as well. Expedition 33 coming up and then Doom right after. Life's good. Very, very good. Dude, Game Pass is doing really well because you got Avowed South of Midnight. You just got Blueprints. Then you're getting Expedition 33 and Doom. Oh, yeah. If you're on Game Pass, I mean, you're having your, I think you're having your best year. This is your best year this gen if you're on Game Pass. Didn't they do something with IGN? Yeah, that's what they did with IGN. The ID at Xbox show on February the 24th was the thing they did with IGN. Yes, that was like it was part of the IGN Fan Fest or whatever. Marathon's going to is doing a surprise stream right now. No idea what they're going to do. They're doing their stream tomorrow. We will co-stream it. I'll go live around noon. I'll go live around I think like 11. No, I'll go live around 12:30 because they're going live at 1. So make sure you guys have your alarm bells set to all. What?
That's the time that you put in the calendar.
I had the wrong time, so you may be remembering the wrong time. I originally had it in there at 2:30, and I had to fix it. It was a mistake. Oh, stop it. Get out of here, Mama. We're going to have my wife play Blueprints tonight. We're going to see what she thinks of it.
Game? No, thank you.
No, it's not. It's a puzzle game. I think you'll like it.
I was going to say, or if it's a puzzle game, no thank you.
There's also Escape Simulator. Escape Simulator 2 got debuted yesterday.
Let's play that, but let's play the game where it's super dark so I can't see anything on top of that. And then I think that's going to be great.
Marathon's doing something right now different than what's happening tomorrow. I would imagine what they're doing right now is probably just to promote the thing tomorrow.
Yeah.
You look great, bud.
Go put it on. Go.
Have her play Brown Dust? No. I'm playing Doom support. I'm buying Doom to support the devs. I bought Blueprints. Yeah. I wanted to support the devs. I bought Blueprints. I was like, I'm not just going to download it on PS Plus. I bought it because that game, the way it was being reviewed, I knew I was going to like it. I knew I was going to have Madam play it. I was like, I want to support. Again, Game Pass is eating up sales from developers. Most devs will skip Xbox and Game Pass. Not important for Microsoft anymore. I'm actually kind of interested in what Game Pass does going forward with big third-party deals because I actually think they're going to start not offering less. That's not the right word. I think they're going to start choosing their targets more intentionally. Like I think Expedition 33 is a small target for them. It's a $50 game. It's a smaller studio. The check they had to write for them is probably not even, in the hemisphere of like a check that they would have to write for somebody like Mafia the Old Country. Is Mafia the Old Country hitting Game Pass? I can't remember if it's hitting Game Pass or not. I wonder if you're going to start to see them targeting smaller games or less of the big third parties. Like they're not going to try to get GTA 6, right? That would just be insanely expensive. Because I think in Microsoft's mind, they don't need to anymore. They've got so much property. Why would they need to go and buy up, big third-party games? They're like, we've got big games. To say it another way, they're like, we're a big third-party publisher now. We don't need to go buy big third-party games to throw on Game Pass. That's something that we can do. They did a 10-minute countdown to a countdown for tomorrow's stream. That's pretty good. That's good. Listen, that's good trolling. That's good. That's good trolling. I told you it would probably be about something for tomorrow. It would probably be about something for tomorrow instead of just like something legitimately happening today. Twitter's crapping the bed. I have a DM and I can't see it. I'm just getting black screens. Super weird. If you're trying to DM me, I can't see it. The platform's all jacked up. Doom and Doom 2, competitive with Sigil and Sigil 2, will be available on April the 18th. Something went wrong. Yeah, I can't access DMs right now. I don't understand how Game Pass is profitable. I don't think it's really ever been focused on being profitable. I think it was focused on, capture. They wanted capture. They wanted people to get into the funnel and then never leave. And I think if they would have been able to get enough volume of subscribers, then you would have seen, I think you would have seen the profitability turn. Right? Right now they've got somewhere between 20 and 30 million. A portion of those are on Game Pass Core, which were just Xbox Live Gold people that got converted or whatever. So, if you take those, 30 something, million people, if you doubled that to like 60 million, you don't know how 40 million a month makes money? No, because the operating cost of Game Pass is the problem, Paul. The operating cost of Game Pass is the issue. I can generate 400 million a month. If it takes 500 million a month to sustain that business, I'm in the red. Like, the number of dollars you generate don't matter in a vacuum. What matters is you have to pit it against operating cost. You have to add up all the money that they gave to, to have, when they were paying money to have GTA 5, they were paying a monthly fee to have GTA 5 on Game Pass, right? That's not their property. They're writing a check. They're writing a check to people like Expedition 33. They're writing a check to, to anybody, to Liza P, all these games, right? Then you have to consider that you have no way of, according to Phil Spencer, they have no way of quantifying the sort of the value of what a game brings to Game Pass, right? They have no way of quantifying that. They don't know. So the production cost to make Doom the Dark Ages, and then it doesn't get sales from people who are on Game Pass. That's $70 that they don't get from that individual because they're on Game Pass. So there's no really way to calculate it and to say, but we generate 400 million a month. But it's like, well, yeah, but what's the operating cost of Game Pass? What is it? I don't know what the operating cost of Game Pass is. People are saying the cooldown feature has to go. People spam runic attacks and relics because they'll get them back without doing anything. The OG games made you work for mana, either by opening chests or killing specific enemies that drop blue orbs. It felt more rewarding. Every time someone posts gameplay videos, it's the same. Spamming 6 runic attacks in quick succession and watching flashy animations. Sorry, but the Norse Saga gameplay is brain dead at best. Real games like Devil May Cry or even Greek God of War are different. So people are literally claiming that God of War 2018 and God of War Ragnarok, they're claiming that the gameplay is brain dead. Okay. All right. That's enough. I'm out. I'm done. I'm done for the week. I'll see you guys on Monday. All right, I'm leaving. I'm gonna go out back. I'm gonna sit in my backyard. I can't do this. I can't do it anymore. I can't do it anymore, chat. Jiminy Christmas. You know what I mean? I want to know, historically speaking, let's just talk. Let's just be serious for a moment. What did PlayStation do to you guys? Tell me. What did PlayStation do? PlayStation hurt people deeply. I mean, deeply. They're like, the games are so over scrutinized, you know? I can't imagine looking at God of War 2018 or Ragnarok and being like, yeah, the combat's brain dead. Okay. All right. Show me on the doll where PlayStation hurt you. Hey, somebody ordered some soda. Thank you so much. You guys ordering that Sprecher soda. Also, feel free to use the chair command if you want a nice black ergonomic mesh super comfortable chair. Be sure to use the chair command. If you're not a soda drinker and you're a coffee drinker, use the coffee command. These are all great ways to support what we do here. Do I need a refill of Sprecher? Yeah, I probably do. What's this other brand that they work with? A rejuvenating drink. I'll have to look into that later. Ravenous Gojira is using the question command. This is something you guys can do as members if you want to have your question featured like this. How long, Lono, do you think Game Pass will still be around? At what point does Microsoft throw in the towel? I feel like Microsoft's swindling player base. It has to be a when and not if at this point. I don't think they're going to ever like just get rid of Game Pass. And let me clear the question command so that let's get rid of Game Pass. Not Game Pass. I'm sorry. Let's get rid of the questions in the queue. But to say let's get rid of Game Pass, I don't think they're ever going to be like, yeah, we just need to get rid of it. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's their goal. I don't think their goal is to just like get rid of it. Now, I think they'll raise prices on it again. Because with day and date being on Ultimate, that's obviously, an issue, isn't it? They moved day and date to Ultimate. Ultimate's $20. So I think they'll continue that trend of probably just like raising the price of Ultimate. I don't exactly know how high they could take it. I think a lot of people have said no higher than 25, but I could see, $29.99 probably being the max, but I don't know how fast they could get there. Microsoft needs 100 million Game Pass subscriptions by 2030 or it's over. I think a lot of people read too much into those statements from Phil. I don't think that if they don't get to 100 million, like it's over. I think what they'll do is they'll just slowly, raise that price and bleed the people that stay on it, and then they're fine if you don't stay on it and you just start buying games. I don't think they care about that. Game Pass is not losing money. Yeah, they've never revealed the numbers, Paul, so I don't think we can say definitively in one way or another. I'm here to tell you, if Game Pass was generating a bunch of profit for them, they would reveal those numbers. They would to the shareholders. I don't think they would keep it a secret. Game Pass will be folded into another Microsoft service. I mean, maybe. I can say it. If it was losing money, they would have killed it. They kill things all the time. I think it's part of a larger strategy, though. I don't think they look at it in an isolated way. Number one, because as I just said a little bit ago, you can't measure production cost of how much of Doom the Dark Ages production cost should be included in the production cost of Game Pass. How much? I don't know. I don't think anybody does know. Let's say that Doom the Dark Ages budget was $100 million. Let's just make a real easy number, $100 million. How much of that $100 million would you attribute to a cost of Game Pass operation? Because you've got 20-something million people that don't have to buy Doom. They get to use it on Game Pass. So that then is a percentage of the production. It's like, well, without Doom, you know, there's a certain number of people that'll sign up for Game Pass for Doom too. There's those people. There were the people that signed up for Game Pass for Black Ops 6. There were the people who signed up for Game Pass for Starfield. How do you measure that? I don't think there's a way of measuring it. I don't think there's a way of saying, well, it costs this much to make Black Ops 6. This many people signed up. This is how much we would attribute production cost of Game Pass from the Black Ops 6 budget, and it's offset by this many people signing up. Therefore, we made or didn't make this much profit. I don't think there's a way to do it. I don't think there's a way to crunch the numbers of Game Pass to say it's in the green, it's in the red, it's in the black. There's no clean way to do it, because every single game that Microsoft is producing right now, every red cent they spend building games, a portion of that at some level is a cost of production for Game Pass. It's what's keeping Game Pass going. We don't know what that number is. We don't. Toasted Notes with 25 months on a member light. Welcome back, Toasted Notes. So I think we have our answer in the fact that they moved day and dates to Ultimate and they raised the price of Ultimate. That communicates that they're either not making enough or they're not happy with what it's generating, so they're trying to create a gap where it generates more and they lose less. They want less people getting day and date for $10 a month. They've made that clear. And when you come to the public and you say the primary offer of Game Pass, which was day and date first party games, that primary offer is now only on Ultimate. Okay? That communicates a lot. Oh, by the way, Ultimate's also now more expensive. That communicates a lot. I think that communicates that at some level, Game Pass wasn't making, you know, the money, the growth, the profit that they wanted to see. They're trying to increase that. Satya uncoupled his bonuses from Game Pass targets. That would tell you everything. That should tell you everything you need to know. That was another development that happened. That's exactly right. That was another development that happened. So again, to me, it's clear that they have assessed Game Pass's value, and its value now is, we've got to get either people on the highest subscription tier as possible, or stop giving them Ultimate. Has anyone here actually done the math on a game selling 1 million copies at 70 to what Game Pass is bringing in per total subscribers times $20 of revenue each month, then compare it to the game sold? But the reason you can't do that, Joel, you can't do that because they're not just putting that game on Game Pass. They're writing checks to third-party developers and publishers, right? You can't do that. You're giving Doom the Dark Ages credit for all the people that signed up for all the people that are paying for Game Pass. Why are you giving that game credit for all of that? They were either already on Game Pass. Maybe they don't play Doom the Dark Ages. Maybe they signed up 6 months ago for a completely unrelated game. Do you see what I'm saying? That's still earning $4 billion a year. That's not a small number at all. Again, the number that Game Pass generates is not important. It's the number that it generates against the cost to keep it going. The cost to keep it going is incredibly expensive. Every studio that they purchased for $70 billion, well, $100 billion if you include everything they spent $100 billion to get all those studios. At some level, some of that cost is the cost to keep Game Pass going. Every single budget of every game, whether it's Doom, a new Call of Duty, or the Outer Worlds 2, all of those games, all their production budgets are a part of the cost to keep Game Pass going. Game Pass is incredibly expensive to keep going as a subscription funnel. So we don't, again, you don't know what the gap is. They could be close to breaking even. They could actually end up spending more money every 12 months. Seriously, think about this. They could spend more money every 12 months to keep Game Pass going than that comes in from the subscribers, and they consider that quote unquote profitable because they have that many people that are like loyal to the brand. Like, to them, that's profitable. Like, it's profitable in a generic sense. It's keeping the brand relevant. It's keeping people in their funnel. They've got access points on, cloud and TVs and mobile and PCs and on the Xbox itself. To them, that's profitable. They're not saying, well, when we do the bean counting, yeah, Game Pass generates more money than we spend to keep it going. They can't even say that because Phil Spencer admitted in an email they don't have a way of quantifying what a single game, what its cost and what its value metric is to Game Pass. They don't even know. They don't have a spreadsheet for it. I just looked, Ford sold $4 billion in electric vehicles and they lost $6 billion in that division. There you go. You can generate an absurd amount of money, but it doesn't mean that that's all profit. We don't know what the percentage is, if there is a percentage that you could say is profit. $5 super chat from It's Chill Will. How long do you think it'll take for the Switch 2 to outsell the Xbox? My guess is first 2 years. Oh, I think the Switch 2 will outsell the Xbox Series X and S in 2 years in. It'll run it down 2 years in. Yeah. Maybe three actually. I think they're anticipating around 15 million first year. It'll outsell Xbox Series X in 1 year. No, it won't. That's no. Mm-mm. You're not going to sell 30 million Switch 2s in a year. No, they're anticipating over 15 million. The Switch 1, I think sold like 13 to 15 million its first year. You're not going to double that. That's insane. There's just no freaking way. No. It'll probably be the third year. It'll be the third year that they get into the 30 million range would be my guess. By that time, that would mean they're averaging about 10 million units a year. I think it's a fair prediction to make. That by the third year the Switch 2 is out, they've averaged maybe 10 million units a year. Because PlayStation 5 hit 75 million for, actually it might not take 3 years because the Switch 2 is going to sell faster than the PS5 as well, I would guess. The PlayStation 5, like 4 years in, like a full 4 years, is at like 75 million. And so that's more than 10 million a year. I don't know. I don't know. That's actually hard to guess. You think 30 million in the first two? That's what he originally said. He originally said 2 years, and I said maybe 3. But now that I'm thinking about how fast the PlayStation 5 sold, I actually think the Switch 2 is going to run them both down. It'll run them both down. I think there'll be more Switch 2s than PS5s, 4 or 5 years in. I think the Switch 2 will sell at a faster interval. I think after 4 full years, it'll be above 75 million. I think it'll sell faster than the PS5. Matt Piscatella doesn't expect Switch 2 to outsell the PS5 this year, so I think it's going to struggle. The analysts that I were reading were anticipating it outselling the they anticipated it outselling the first Switch 1, which sold incredibly fast. I think there's disagreement in the predictions. Which is fine. What is this? This is a spam DM. Yeah, be careful checking those DMs, boys. Oh, they got him. They got old they got old Detective Seeds. Don't be clicking those links, boys. Don't be clicking those links. I don't see it. Just my opinion. What don't you see, JC? You don't see the Switch 1 being outsold by Switch 2? Do we have any idea of Nintendo's production capacity? Are we saying they can only sell 15 million because they can only make that many? Yeah, I'm not sure. So the Switch, it looks like the Switch 1 sold just shy of 15 million first year, 17 million the next year. 2019 was 20 million. They had a huge surge in 2020, 27 million units, and then 23 million units in 2021. 19 units in 2022, 16 million units, and then the forecast for 2024 was about 12 million. So they really slowed down in 2024. That was the first time they really slowed down to below their first year totals. They were already getting a bump, though, pre-COVID, though, Savage. They sold more in 2019 than they did in 2018 and 2017. It was going up. They were already going up. Now, they got a big bump for sure, but they were already performing very, very well. They were. As if GTA 6 doesn't get delayed, but there's hopes to that not happening. I don't think GTA 6 is getting delayed. I think PlayStation's posturing and behaving as if GTA 6 is real. And I think... I'm not real. I'm sorry. The release date is solid. That PlayStation's posturing as if it's happening. So... the great thing about Nintendo is that we will know the hard numbers. Yeah. What sent us down this lane is, the Xbox showcase that's coming in June, just sort of making predictions about how they position things, about how they, align. They can only sell 30 million if they want to make that many. Oh, if they can make that many. Looks like the peak Switch production in 2020 was about 28 million units. Yeah. I think they even said that they had increased production for the new one. At least that's what it felt like they had indicated. If you guys haven't hit the like button yet, smash that like button. Let's try to get 300 likes. We're only about an hour into the broadcast. I'm checking the various feeds, see what's going on in the news. Feel free to bring up anything from today's stories that we were covering. We were covering the Xbox Showcase leaks. We were covering the Last of Us Complete Edition, the 18th time they've had to release that game. And then I Troll the Trolls with a $10 super chat says, is Xbox making a handheld device? They could cut into that Nintendo market if they have an enticing titles to release with it. Good pricing. They have infrastructure with Game Pass for success. Ain't nobody cutting in on Nintendo's territory, brother. No. No. Xbox is going to do an Xbox branded handheld, an OEM handheld thing with Asus end of this year. They have a handheld allegedly coming in 2027. I don't think... JW makes confetti. He does it. I owe you guys a member. Let me bump the line to 307. There we go. Warehouse and logistical limitation, not a production line one. They will double down on Game Pass. Game Pass is the future, and Sony will do eventually the same with their service and first-party releases. No, that's not true at all. There isn't a single ounce of proof in the market that Game Pass is the future. Game Pass has largely plateaued on console, according to Phil Spencer. They raised the price of Ultimate. They moved day and date to Ultimate. There's not an ounce of truth to what you're saying. There is no evidence whatsoever in the subscription market or the current gaming market that Xbox is the future of anything. No. And no, PlayStation's certainly not going to follow. They've made that crystal clear. I need this. I need this for making French fries for our air fryer, man. Holy mackerel. Look at this thing. She's getting shown how to use it, right? Look at that. I need that. I need that in my house right now. Do they sell these? Do they sell these at like a commercial level to consumers? I need that, dude. I love Xbox people. Xbox lost, but yet Sony is going to start to follow Xbox. Yeah, that's not going to happen. There's more chance the quality of games in a subservice decrease in quality and reverence, in my opinion, says Maloon. Perhaps just being indies and such. Less and less AAA because budgets and whatnot. Yes, they do. You still have to peel the potatoes. Oh, no, we leave the skins on. We wash them and leave the skin on. You got to leave the skin on, brother. You soak them in water for 20 or 30 minutes. You drain the water, right? You rinse them a bunch first. After you're done rinsing them, you soak them. And then we cover them in oil. And then we cover them in like this garlic, it's like a shaker and recipe. So it's like a garlic seasoning thing. And then we do some Lowry's, like the orange reddish seasoning. And then we throw it in the air fryer. Skin on no way. Oh, yeah. Blackbird with the 5-bomb gets us to 312. We're a little behind on member count for the week because I took Monday off because my house was flooding, and you guys are getting us there. Oh, here we go. Commercial vegetable chopper with 4 replacement blades. Yeah, that's literally the one that she's using in the trailer. Oh, they've got different sizes. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. That's a wish list item right there. Add to list. Add to wish list. I got to get that. I got to get that from Madam. And a 5-bomb from Jack Garland. We got a little bit of a member train starting. 317. The 5 bombs add up quick. Thank you so much, Jack Garland. We don't need that. Why is that on here? I don't remember adding that. We don't need that. Everything else here is, like books and board games for the kiddos and stuff. Reset the chat goal. Oh, I forgot to reset the super chat goal. Sorry. Let me reset the super chat goal. And then I will gift a member. I owe you guys 10 right now. Did I do my single gifted? Did I throw it in? Yes, I did. Okay. Let's say every 5 super chats, I pay it forward back to you guys. There we go. Little next year, guys, I gained 10 pounds, and I don't know why. This French fry press is great. Yeah. I want to get that for Madam. I throw on the wish list. I'll save that one for later. It's actually not a terrible price either. It's not a terrible price. You should pad them dry after soaking them. Oh yeah, we do that too. Like she dumps them out and puts them on like a paper towel or whatever. And guys, a little bit ago, I said we needed some likes, and the like count didn't move. YouTube's doing that thing where you're gonna have to like double and triple check that it's saving your likes. Smash that thumbs up button right now. Go nuts. Go nutso. Let's try to get to 300. That's a huge help to what we do here. What were we talking about? We were talking about all kinds of different things. Yeah. We're talking about Game Pass. We're talking about Xbox. We're talking about the Xbox Showcase. Yo, what's good, Brooklyn Breed? How are you? Not gonna lie, the way you described how you season your fries might have to revoke your invitation to the cookout, big dog. You don't even know the seasoning that we use. The seasoning's got a girl on the cover of it, right? What is it? Let's see. I can't remember the brand of it or whatever. I think Madam gets it off of yeah. I think it's Tabitha Brown. Yeah. We use the Tabitha Brown Very Good Garlic All-Purpose Seasoning. Come on now. I'm putting this on the fries. Yeah, and then I'm putting Lowry's on the fries. They taste amazing. Why don't you chill the frick out on hating my fry seasoning methods, bro? Why don't you chill the frick out? You're still invited? You use Lowry's? Yeah, we use that in Lowry's. What's the problem? What should we use instead if they taste great? The frick are you talking about? Fries are good with salt alone? Is this what we've been talking about while I've been gone? No. You missed my 5-bomb? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. We have a 5-bomb train actually happening. Another 5-bomb comes in from JW. Guys, keep the 5 train alive. Get us to 400. Maybe the big boys will come in and save us to 500. The official PS5 Pro Indiana Jones enhanced features is strong. Yeah, native 4K with advanced ray tracing. Yeah. Thank you, my good sir. Well, thank you, JW, for the support. I'm sorry that I missed it. Where's the Old Bay? Come on, dude. We call the potato wedges JoJo's. Yeah, I called them JoJo's growing up as well. Yeah. Guys, we still only got 10 likes. I don't know what's going on with the like count. You guys are gifting more than liking. And another 5-bomb comes in from Siege Master. We're getting more likes. I'm sorry. We're getting more gifted members than likes. Currently, I owe you guys 15 members. I wanted to invite you to the cookout. What a waste of fries. Oh, shut the frick up. What we're doing is fine. Be quiet. You guys need to come to Belgium for the fries? Yeah, we're well off topic. We can't talk food. He's Midwestern dude. He can't handle Old Bay. Also, Old Bay hot sauce is my new staple. I was just teasing you. I explained in my last comment, Lowry seasoning alone gets you an invitation. Okay. And a 10-bomb comes in from Pathalon Phoenix. Pathalon's been going huge on the member count lately. Thank you so much for the 10-bomb. And €5 from Blackbird. It's time to show some support, guys. Keep up the great work, Lono. Watching from France. Thank you so much, so much for the €5. You're the best. Checking the news feed to see if anything's going on. Viewers in chat are joking around and discussing different kinds of seasoning they use. Yeah. We can't do that. You can't get stuck on these off-topic subjects. We really can't. Lono clearly got black friends. He knows too much of the culture. Speaking of video games and video game topics, you can't talk fried potatoes and expect us not to get emotionally invested. Also video games. That's right. Lono bringing the fries with the seafood boil. Oh, man, I don't know nothing about none of that. I don't know nothing about no seafood boil. You know what I mean? I know you're probably dumping it on, like, brown paper bags, but that's about all I know. And then a single comes in from John Lipkowski, and he gets us to 338. 338. Have you seen Bloober Team with their new horror game? I've not seen it. They're showing it right now. And a 5-bomb comes in from Sal. The 5-bomb train continues. We're now at 343. Thank you so much. Thank you. The official gameplay trailer for Chronos New Dawn will debut next week on all IGN channels. That's the one where you're in like outer space as a spaceman and has like a Dead Space vibe. Man, we are just hemorrhaging viewers all of a sudden. Is there something going on the platform? Literally, we went from 550 to 486. Are you guys having buffering or something? That's a crazy drop-off. Just because we were talking fries? Jiminy Christmas. The release date for Mafia: The Old Country has been leaked on Steam for August the 8th. More to come on May 8th, when most likely they release the official release date trailer with pre-orders. Yeah, I saw that. So, Mafia: The Old Country is releasing on May the 8th. And 1 month prior to that, they are going to be doing like a stream or something. And then Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, PS5, April 17th. So PlayStation's got a blog here with the Pro enhancements. They've even got a trailer here. Let's go ahead and check this out. There we go. Visually enhanced on the PS5 Pro. Fluid 60 FPS. Lightning fast loading. Well, the draw distance in some of these areas is crazy. I told you guys when I played this on my Series X that I thought it was a very, very good looking game. I think it could win some art direction awards. There's a lot of games that are going to be tough to beat on art direction, though. A lot of games to beat in art direction. Let's see. We're excited to bring Indiana Jones and the Great Circle to PlayStation players. Each platform introduces something unique to the experience, and we worked hard to ensure our use of PlayStation 5's suite of features directly benefits you and the game. We look forward to hearing your indie story. So there's going to be DualSense features. The light bar is connected to some actions. Performance enhancements. The game benefits from frictionless loading, selective installation that prioritizes your system language. Other languages can be installed separately, and SSD optimization, ensuring a seamless experience with faster streaming and loading. The Great Circle also takes advantage of the PlayStation 5's advanced CPU and GPU capabilities to achieve stable 60 FPS with high-quality resolution. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle makes extensive use of the PlayStation 5's ray tracing capabilities both on the base model and the PlayStation 5 Pro console. The global illumination system allows for greater detail and quality as well as more realistic and dynamic lighting throughout the world. Audio immersion is enhanced by 3D audio, an HD rumble during cinematic scenes and gameplay, letting you feel like you're right in the scenes as Indy himself. Community game. Okay, I don't care about that. Here we go. PS5 Pro Enhanced. Make the journey around the world more striking with Indiana Jones and the Great Circle on PlayStation 5 Pro. The optimized console performance on the PS5 Pro ensures that you achieve higher and more consistent frame rates, making every moment of your adventure unforgettable. Experience next-level realism and image clarity with native 4K resolution and advanced ray tracing. So yeah, this one right here is the one that shocks me. Native 4K with the advanced ray tracing turned on. And if they do the global illumination like they're doing in AC Shadows, it'll be freaking gorgeous. Playing Indiana Jones and the Great Circle at a native 4K resolution really is the best way to appreciate the level of detail the team at Machine Games has poured into every corner of the world, says Jennings. You could spend hours just walking around the different environments, admiring every little thing from each artifact in Marshall College's impressive collection to the verdant beauty of the Sukhothai jungles. I'm not sure how to say that. So this is an interesting thing to say, though. 4K native 4K resolution is the best way to appreciate the level of detail at the team. I mean, that coming right from the people who made the game. They're basically saying that the PS5 Pro is the best place to play the game. That's I don't know, man. It's pretty remarkable. Pretty remarkable that they are getting that level of performance, but also willing to come out and say those things. The second best place to play the game, jerk. Well, they didn't say place, they said best way. So like, as long as you're getting 4K on your PC, then you're playing the way that they think that you should. So if you guys are just tuning in or tuning back in, I'm not sure what happened there with YouTube. It looked like we had like a little bit of a blip or something. Be sure to smash that like button. Thank you so much. We need 13 more likes to get to 300 likes. You guys have been crushing it. We are 7 members away from me owing you guys a 20 bomb. At 350, I owe you 20 members. So let's get it. We had a little 5 train going there. Think they'll fix their cap card. So the reveal trailer for Chronos New Dawn is 5 months old, and it looks like we're going to get some gameplay next week. Do we have a release date? It's 2025, isn't it? I think that's all we've got, though. I think that's all we've received. It's not native 4K on the Series X. What's the resolution there? I believe, is it upscaled? Let's see. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle Xbox Series X. I don't think they were running it. They're saying it's native 4K on the PS5 Pro. They're not even saying that it's native 4K on the PS5. They're saying PS5 Pro. So you're not getting native 4K on the base PS5 model. Let's see. It runs some games at native 4K. I don't think it is. I think it's an upscale, which is totally fine. I've been in defense of upscaling for a long time. Like, I think a lot of people poo-poo upscaling in ignorance. Like, I don't think they understand how great it is to actually have upscaling, to be able to get more headroom for a game's performance. Advanced ray tracing on the Pro alongside native 4K. Yeah, like I think it's pretty impressive. It's dynamic 4K on the X and the PS5. Yeah, I don't have a problem with upscaling at all. I think for the longest time people have been fixating on that, and it just, yeah. I think people misunderstand. They're like, "Oh, it's fake resolution," and it's like, yeah. You're ordering it now? They chose to skip PSSR. Except for FF16. Oh yeah, FF16 uses FSR1, which is terrible. I have no issue with upscaling, but I want better. Yeah, are they not using PSSR for Indiana Jones? I've fallen. My badge used to be green. Your badge should never downgrade. That doesn't make any sense. They don't need PSSR. It's already native. So with the raw power of the Pro, they're just going to be they're just able to get. That's crazy. I think we've established that while I'm happy for you to enjoy games how you want, most of us don't agree with you. What's Wired Rope saying? Native is always best. Oh yeah, Wired Rope's the one that's like, he runs his games at native. He's like, you have to run it native. Native or bust is how Wired Rope plays his games. In 40 years of gaming, I've never seen more games get released between the months of May and August until this year. It's going to be funny if GTA 6 gets delayed, leaving an empty fall season. Right. It's pretty clear that GTA 6 has everybody pretty skittish. Like, they're like, man, let's get our stuff out before the summer's over. Like, they're between now and like August, it's just an absolute deluge of games. It is just constant. And a single gifted comes in from Chadwick. He's like, come on, boys, let's get to 350. I owe you guys 20 members at 350. Thank you so much, Chad Warwick. Baldur's Gate 3, No Man's Sky, Indiana Jones all run native 4K on the Pro. I didn't realize that No Man's Sky was running native 4K. I thought they were doing some kind of upscaling as well. Yeah. I don't even think the guys that are going to console war over the Indiana Jones on Pro, I don't think you're even going to get much of a reaction. I think people have moved on. I just don't think they freaking care. I mean it. I don't think nobody cares. New T. I've had this one for a while. It's from Into the AM. If they can hit native 4K, then they don't need to use PSSR. I agree with the second part. I just don't see any company leaving money on the table. I'm not a part of what you guys... I'm not sure what you were on a couple of wavelengths here. Oh, Deuterium says, like I said, the differences are probably marginal enough for a $2 trillion company. They'll continue Game Pass, increase its price, and sell games on PlayStation. Oh, you guys are still debating whether or not Game Pass is profitable. Here's the thing. I would say that Xbox will continue to signal to us whether or not Game Pass is their focus. I think Game Pass to them is less of a focus than it once was. Like I don't think they're like getting rid of it. I don't think, because there's some people that were asking about that earlier. Like, will Xbox get rid of Game Pass? I don't think so. No, I don't think they have a goal to get rid of it. I don't think they have intentions of getting rid of it. But I think they're going to continue to treat it in a way where they raise the price of Ultimate again at some point. I think they'll potentially also move away from big deals with third-party publishers and companies, because they don't need to. They have their own stuff. So you'll get more, I think, more strategic strikes and games. Like, they're going to target games like Expedition 33 and others. I think you're going to continue to see that. Just a shift. It's not going to be what it once was. It already isn't what it once was. It's weird for people to argue that, like, Game Pass is the future and Game Pass is the focus. It's not. It's already not even what it once was. It's already been completely changed as a value offer. Like, they've already shown you that it's not what it once was. So I'm not really sure why anybody would have the confidence to think that, like, oh no, it's definitely what their focus in the future. It's like, no, they pretty much signaled that isn't true. To answer your question on Chronos, there's no official release. We could see next week. Yeah, when you do the trailer, maybe we'll get a release date. Have they not even said if it's this year? Have they not even given like a release a release window? No, yeah, it says coming 2025. Yeah. Yeah, it says coming 2025. So it is coming this year. That's their hope. We do have one question in the question queue. What are your thoughts on Mafia: The Old Country? I think Mafia: The Old Country looks incredible. It really, really does. Some of the action sequences from the one trailer reminded me of Uncharted 4. The focus on characters and faces and like drama. Yeah, I think there's a lot there. I think they've got a good game on their hands. I think it's another game that's going to be competing for Game of the Year. I think the fight for Game of the Year is going to be insane. That would be my guess. That the Game of the Year fight is going to include Mafia: The Old Country, Death Stranding 2, Doom: The Dark Ages, Monster Hunter Wilds. Yeah, Blueprints is potentially in the running. Split Fiction. Dudes, like, yeah, GTA 6, Ghost of Yotei. The fight for Game of the Year is literally going to feel like the movie where Godzilla's out there fighting one monster, and then another monster comes, and then another monster comes, and then another, and another, and another, and you're like, when's it going to end? How many monsters could there possibly be? Like, that's what the Game of the Year fight's going to look like. I don't even think they're going to be able to limit it to 6 nominations. I think they're going to have like 8. You're going to have like 8 nominations for Game of the Year this year. Because if not, you're going to have games in like the high 80s, low 90s that get like stiff-armed and spurned, and it's going to feel like, what? Huh? What? It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy, man. There's all of the gaming is dead and gaming's headed for a bust and gaming is cooked and all that. I don't know how anybody could think that. I really, really don't. I need MASH to sponsor me to play games. Hey, get your own MASH, sir. We're 6 away from 350, boys. I currently owe you 15. So double check that you don't have a membership renewal. Membership renewals, especially not especially. Member pluses and VIPs, those add to the total. Thank you to all the new subscribers today as well. Somebody said stop. Somebody left a comment that said stop exploiting your subscribers. Huh? What are you talking about? $2 super chat from Geo says, you think a PlayStation showcase will happen around GTA 6? I would think that what we're currently hearing is there will be a PlayStation showcase. There will be a PlayStation showcase from Grub. Like, they're leaning towards doing one. They're thinking about doing one. They're leaning towards doing one. JC gifts a member and gets us 5 away, but then we get a renewal from Dynamite Black for 21 months and Steven Xbox for 7 months. 7 months of memberships to your channel. Let's go. There it is. We just jumped by 3. We're now 3 away from 350. Thank you so much. Currently, the word on the street from Jeff Grubb is that PlayStation is considering doing a showcase, and they're leaning towards showcase. That's what they're leaning towards, right? And a 5-bomb comes in from Wired Rope, and he goes Agents of Chaos, and he gets us across the line and gets us to 352. I've got this feeling if we can get it to 400, people will go nuts to get us to 500. We don't want to miss the goal. We've hit it so many weeks in a row. I took a day off on Monday, so we're super behind on pace. An SDO with a £5 tip says, this gen has been sensational for games. Too many people say it's a bad gen. I'm sure some people don't enjoy gaming anymore. Well, there's something that people are doing that I think is interesting, right? They find a way to essentially complain about everything. So they won't say that the games are bad, but they'll talk about things as if they're like everything's disappointing, right? Like, oh, it's just been a bunch of sequels, right? Oh, it's just been a bunch of sequels. Okay, why is that a bad thing? And 36 months from Danny. I owe you guys a 20 bomb. I'm actually going to do it right. Hang on. I'm going to wait. Let's get this to 353. Let's get it to 355. We'll be 20 away from 375. See if we can't get somebody to tag team with me. I'll do the 20 IO, and we'll see if we can't have somebody leapfrog us to 375. We need 2 more. Anything about the new Turok game? It was just a cinematic. Yeah, wasn't it? I don't think they showed game. Did they show gameplay? It might have been simulated. It's probably a ways away. Yeah. Somebody commented on my thing. Bro got dislike bomb faster than Advanced Warfare. You think that matters? LOL. You think like ratios matter? I think it's cute. I do think it's cute that people think that. They think like, yeah, we brigaded. This guy says, stop exploiting your subscribers, and he provided a link. What is this? A 19-minute video. Reforge Gaming PlayStation fanboys are shocked about damage controlling for Nintendo 2. Huh? Okay. Somebody made a video about me. Oh no, whatever will I do? Oh no. Oh no, chat. There's another video about me, chat. The funny thing about people complaining about sequels is that they'd be complaining if they didn't get sequels either. So the people that complain about this gen, they won't say that like those games were bad. They'll just be like, well, all we've gotten is sequels or cross-gen supported games. Okay, those are only negatives if you're basically forcing them to be negatives. Like, cross-gen games are not a problem. They're not. If you understand how engines work, then a cross-gen game is not an issue at all. You understand that you're getting next-gen features. It's like if a game can run on a really weak PC, but it can also run on your PC and you can turn on all the bells and whistles, you don't like denigrate that game, right? The people that do that are either ignorant or they just like to sort of lie and mislead the public about, well, if it's a cross-gen game, it's not really next-gen. That's just a lie propagated by people who don't deal in being honest. So that's like a forced negative thing. And also like complaining about sequels. Since when is that a problem? Nobody complained when we got a bunch of Halos in a row or a bunch of Call of Duties in a row. Nobody's ever complained about that. Sequels tend to be a celebration of like, hey, the franchise must be doing well. Previous game must have done well. So they're essentially summarizing the gen as negative, but it's completely and utterly forced. It would be like saying, well, I don't like that restaurant and I think it's a scam. And you'd be like, why? Well, they bring out really, hot, nice, well-cooked food. And you'd be like, wait, what? It's like you're creating negatives that aren't actually negatives. Having games be cross-gen supported is not a negative. Having games that land and are sequels is not a negative. These aren't negative things. Like you're creating negatives out of thin air. You really are. The breadsticks. Well, yeah, it's not the breadsticks analogy. I heard PlayStation is doing a showcase this year in May, but I feel like it won't happen. The current rumor is that they're leaning towards doing a showcase. And they are also a part of the GTA 6 marketing that is coming in May. That's the current rumor. There's two different people that have said that, Detective Seeds and Middle-Aged Gamer Guy. Both of these guys said that GTA 6 marketing is set to go in May, and it's going to be at some level involved with something that PlayStation's doing. So they'll also complain Ghosts of Yote isn't a direct sequel. It's always spun into a negative. Right, you can create a negative about anything. Well, all we're getting is sequels. Oh, well, those games don't count because they were cross-gen games, right? Oh, well, that resolution doesn't count because it's upscaling. Okay, right. Well, my question would be, usually in these scenarios, the best thing to do is for me to say, I don't understand what ideal you're arguing against. So the ideal that they're essentially arguing against would have been that the PS5 comes out and all the games for it were PS5 only, and then not just that they're PS5 only, but none of them can be sequels. It's like, well, that doesn't seem reasonable. That doesn't seem like a reasonable expectation. I told you Mafia Old Country had to be announced first. I don't know why you're shouting that. What are you talking about? All I see is Baldur's Gate, Gran Turismo, Ghost, God of War, Elden Ring, Returnal, Rift Apart, Forza, Starfield, FF7 Rebirth, FF16, and many more. One of the best gens ever. Before GTA 6. Oh, so you're saying, well, but okay, they're doing their event, what is it? It's May 8th, right? They're doing their event May 8th. So I would say that the GTA stuff could come after that, maybe? If the GTA 6 marketing is taking place in May, maybe that's why they're doing the Mafia, the Old Country thing early May to get it out of the way. I don't think you're necessarily correcting anything I've said. I've said for numerous weeks now that I don't think we hear anything about GTA 6 until May. I think they're going to go quiet in April. When people were saying like April 1st, I thought that would be hilarious, but I didn't put a lot of stock in it. I just didn't. I was like, yeah, I don't think so. I said that. Well, I mean, I don't think I ever remember countering what you said. My favorite part is where someone has to record you with their phone because they don't know how to capture footage, even though YouTube literally has clips. Yeah, what's hilarious, Fuzzy, is I can now predict the videos that people are going to make. And the question you have to ask yourself is, why am I constantly having to say, I didn't say that, I didn't say that, that's not what I said? Maybe, just maybe, there's a concerted effort out there for people to lie about me, right? Why wouldn't I just own it? Like, if I said those things and thought those things, I'm either crazy and I'm a schizophrenic and I can't remember what I've said, or maybe, just maybe, people are liars. And I said, I know what's going to happen. People are going to make videos and they're going to claim that I'm defending Nintendo and that I'm celebrating $80, and they're going to call me a corporate shill. And like clockwork, they've all made the videos. It's because they're pathetic and they can't do anything else. Like it's like literally predicting the behavior of a stupid animal. It's like, you know what they're going to do. I was like, I know what they're going to do. I told you guys that last week. I said they're all going to make videos. I said this weekend I'm going to get called a corporate shill. I'm going to be called a bootlicker. They're going to claim that I'm defending Nintendo at all costs and that I'm defending price increases. I knew they were going to do it because they're pathetic. Like, it's easy to predict what they're going to do. They're creatively impotent. It's why they have to make content about other people. I've sat here for 2 hours and just talked about ideas and concepts and games and the gaming world and the business side of things and, you know, the games that I've been playing that I'm enjoying and the games that I'm looking forward to. You notice that, like, I'm not making my content about other people. It's plain as day to see who has to crutch on the content of others and who doesn't. It's like, all right. I'm just going to continue to say, if you want to know what I think about a given subject, you can come here and ask me. You don't need to look at, like, you know, a 20-minute clip on Twitter with a false frame or watch some weird, you know, low-grade video on YouTube of somebody who's claiming I'm saying things that I'm not saying. You know what I mean? I'm not paying any attention to it. I'm not engaging with it. I don't go out and try to defend myself against it. I'm right here live Monday through Friday if people want to come and hear what I have to say about a given subject. It isn't difficult. It isn't. And I knew when I mentioned the fact that I got rejected for an Indiana Jones code, I knew they would make clips and say that I was salty about it. And I quite literally said in the video, I was like, I don't care. I would have been willing to cover it. I'm not salty. Why would I be salty about not getting a code for a game I already own? Like, I bought the premium upgrade edition for Indiana Jones. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. It's like, in the actual clip itself, I say that I'm not upset. It doesn't really matter to me. I had no plans on covering it, but it gets clipped and I get described as like I'm being salty. It's like, okay. That's just a lie. That's just straight up lie, you know? And if people want to use their platforms to signal boost it, that's your choice. You can signal boost hate and harassment. It says a lot about your character. So that's all I have to say about it. I'd rather talk about games and the year's calendar that's busting at the seams than have to worry about hate, lies, and toxicity. It's not that interesting. It's boring. You know what I mean? It's like caring about, you know, rumors about celebrities. It's funny you don't play PC because you can't afford it. They're saying I can't play on PC because I can't afford it. I'd rather gift members. Exactly, Soul Train. Like, I didn't realize I can't afford it. I have a 2080 Ti rig there, 2080 Ti rig in my living room, a backup 2080 Ti rig that I use to stream on. I've got a rig next to me with, I don't even actually know what's in the rig that I stream on. It was like a $2,200 PC. That's what he said. I have more PCs than I need. I don't like to game on PC. And Soul Train gifts a member. Thank you so much. I've lost count of how many PCs I have. I don't even know. A 4070. Yeah, I have a 4070 Ti Super. This a-hole bought a 4070 Ti Super to stream with, and he's not even gaming on it. Yeah, but I can't afford... but I can't afford to PC game. Homie, I probably have more PCs than the guy that made the video. What do you mean? I could game on any of them if I wanted to. Oh, sorry. That just isn't true. Oh my golly. All right, we're one away from 355. I left the video as soon as I heard that. I thought Lono was poor shaming. Yeah, I can't afford to play on PCs, but I also poor shame. That's why it's a waste of time. It's such a waste of time to try to counter what they're saying. They're liars. Like, they don't care. They do not care. They don't care about what's true. They will literally just say something because they know the people that watch that kind of garbage, they will never go and fact check. They'll be like, yep, that's true. He's a this, he's a that, he's a blah, 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 blah. It's like, you will absolutely waste your energy trying to combat what people are saying about you. It's like, why would I'm not going to do this. It's just, it's wasted energy. What if Sony has an exclusive showcase in May just for GTA 6? That would go down as the biggest showcase of all time. Here's why I don't think that they would do that, Christopher Burnett. Number one, GTA 6 Trailer 2 is likely going to land all on its own, and that's going to be a monumental thing by itself. PlayStation wants to have, I would imagine, a showcase to talk about more than just one game. They're going to want to have like the third party lineup that's coming, their own stuff that's coming, whether it's Death Stranding 2 or Ghosts of Yotei, Lost Soul aside. We also know they're going to want to talk about, I would assume they'll have some stuff to drop that is potentially coming next year. I don't know. I don't think that Sony would want to just dedicate an entire showcase. A state of play, I'll grant you. They're doing a state of play for like Borderlands 4. So I could see PlayStation saying, yeah, let's do a state of play for GTA 6. A whole showcase? I don't know about that, man. PlayStation's got their own things that they need to do and market and get out there. And I don't think think about it like this. They've not done a showcase since 2023. Finally coming up for air to do your showcase after 2 years and to be like, oh, it's a GTA 6 showcase. I mean, I think it would certainly be a flex, but a flex of what? A flex of like, yeah, this third-party game's basically going to take over, so we're not even going to bother talking. Like, I don't think that would, I don't know. I could see them being involved with the marketing and having some of the marketing in their showcase. But if they do something just for GTA 6 by itself, it would likely be a state of play. Yeah. If anything, GTA 6 Trailer 2 could be the one more big thing. I don't know if Rockstar is going to want to do that either, though. You have to think about both companies have their own goals. They have their own goals with respect to like when they want to say something, how they want to say it, and how they want to position it. And Rockstar seems to really like to do things on their own, right? They just push out a trailer. They just push out the marketing materials. They just, they push out, screenshots and things like that. I don't necessarily think that they would want to, have GTA 6 trailer 2 just like land as the one more thing in a PlayStation showcase. I don't think so. If Rockstar were to partner with anyone for something like that, it would be PlayStation. I don't disagree that that's who they would partner with, but I also think that I also think that they would have their own opinion about how they would go about. I'm sorry, not how they would go about. They would have their own opinion about saying, we have our way of pushing out trailers. We don't do a trailer with like them. We don't do a trailer with them. They just like push the trailer out. Right? They just push it out on Twitter and everywhere else. There it is. Okay. There's the single gifted that we needed. Thank you, Dylan. All right, here we go. We're at 355. We need a 20 bomb to 375. I'm doing my 20 bomb right now to see if I can't put out the energy, the 20 bomb energy, and we get another one. Let's see. Let's see if we can do it. Here comes the 20 that I owe you guys. There it is. We'll see if I can't bait a tag team partner here. We've had 20 bomb trains before, and we're going to need one if we're going to hit the goal this week. We all keep hearing Sony has exclusive marketing for GTA 6. I don't think they have exclusive marketing. I think Sony and Rockstar are working together. I think that they're going to work together on it. I don't think that it's going to be like exclusive marketing rights or something like that. I don't think so. It's possible. It's possible, but like my gut says, they're going to be in some kind of a contract with PlayStation, with Sony, but it's not going to be an exclusivity contract for marketing. I don't know if Rockstar would agree to limiting their reach like that. I don't think like Xbox is out here, flexing their reach and saturation. They didn't exactly do that well this gen, but that's still an awful lot of people that you want Xbox to ping with trailers and stuff. You don't want to be like, no, just PlayStation. I'd say they do both. One state of play for just GTA 6 and then another one at Summer Game Fest. It wouldn't be limiting of reach. Well, not that the game needs help, but again, I don't know why you would... What benefit would there be to think of it from Rockstar's perspective? What benefit is there to doing an exclusivity marketing contract with PlayStation? And a 10 bomb from Cactar King. He says, I'll go halfway. He's looking for somebody to do the next 10. We're at 365. We're 10 away from 375. Thank you so much, Cactar King. And a 5 bomb from Vix Vapor. We got a little member train going. And now we're at 370. Keep it going, boys. Every little bit helps. We had to take Monday off. My basement flooded, and I fought it all weekend. And now I'm fighting with insurance. I'm sure PlayStation will get marketing rights for GTA 6, but definitely not exclusive. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think they're interested in doing marketing rights with PlayStation, but I don't think it would be exclusivity. I don't think so. PlayStation certainly is a great company to partner with for a game like GTA 6. But I don't see them saying, yeah, we're going to give them the exclusive marketing rights. That seems to be... I don't know. What's up, Lono? Is the Xbox Showcase today? No, they were Xbox Showcase 2025 leaks. And basically Xtasis, a very reliable leaker, said that Persona was going to be there. A Hollow Knight Silk Song was going to be there. The big one was the Gears of War collection was going to be there, but Gears of War E-Day will not. They're going to do a Gears of War Direct later. So it sounds like they might start doing directs just for their games, separate from the showcase, because they're going to do the Outer Worlds Direct, but that's after the showcase, kind of like when they did the Starfield Direct, and then last year they did the Black Ops 6 Direct. So they might start doing more directs throughout the year, which I would think is awesome. Like you do your developer direct in January, and then throughout the year you could do, whole game directs on things. YouTube doesn't pay content creators unless they run ads or other revenue generating methods. Streaming is not a paying job. Most streamers and content creators are able to do this. I never mind him raising the sub goal, but now it's time to make sense. Wait, what are you saying, Lil Me Trip? What are you talking about? What's wrong with putting his own money in his work? I doubt he got all that stuff on the wall of the mic, the custom posters and PC from sub money. Subs are paying for his toys, so he needed 2 pros. YouTube pays him for that, while sub money went straight to buying 2 pros. 1,400 of the subs money being spent on something he could have just bought 1 of. Wait, so let me get this straight. People support me directly with memberships. That's how I earn a living primarily, right? And don't get it twisted. There's only about 600 people paying for memberships on this channel. About 2,000 of the people every month in the sub base are being paid for by others. Oftentimes myself. I gift a ton of members to my own channel, okay? That's the money that I earn. That's how I earn a living, and then I spend it in ways that I deem appropriate. I'm notoriously bad about spending money on myself. I just recently finally got a new iPhone. I went like 10 years without buying a brand new iPhone. I don't understand what your issue is. Am I not allowed to spend the money that I earn in the way that I deem fit? Like, do you think you have a say in how I spend my money? I don't understand. TJ Love with the gifted member, and then a 5 bomb comes in from Mr. Oxlong, and that's an agent of chaos. 376. That comment was so dumb that I had to. Well, thank you, Mr. Oxlong. Is that literally what people have a problem with? That I bought 2 PS5 Pros? I also sold one to the AT&T tech last week I sold a base PS5 to him for $150. I gave him a crazy deal because I felt like it was the right thing to do. I kind of felt bad for him. He was down on his luck a little bit. Cash was tight, and he really wanted to get a PS5. He was only able to afford the Portal, but he was only able to play cloud, and so I hooked him up. Like, should I not have done that either? He does more than stream. He uploads videos doing news and reviews, and we get ads. He even asks viewers to say when they got an ad. Do you understand why I ask the viewers to tell me when they got an ad? Let me explain it to you. We have been strongly encouraged for 2 years by YouTube to run automatic ad placement. I have been against it for 2 years. My concern has been this year, 2025, YouTube has pushed that so hard, we're not doing it. And all this year, my reach, the number of times my streams are seen on YouTube has gone down. And my concern was, because I'm not running automatic ads, YouTube is shrinking my reach. So I turned the feature on and I asked chat, please tell me when you get an ad, because if it's too intrusive, if it's too disruptive, I'm going to turn it off. And do you know what I have done? I have turned it off. Opting to make less ad revenue on every stream because it hurts the viewer experience. Like, I get it. There's something about me that a lot of people don't like. Why don't you just grow up and get over it and watch somebody else if you don't like me? But if you don't like me and you want to continue to clip me and put me in your videos and lie about me, that's a you problem. That's a you problem. The insecurity of all these weak men out here that are so bothered by a skinny 5'6" white guy who's very opinionated. Some of y'all need therapy. Some of y'all need to be a little bit more masculine. You need to stiffen your spine and get over the fact that you don't like me. Just get the frick over it. Like, just grow up and move on with your life and do things that make you feel happy. But the constant insistence that, like, I'm bad or wrong or doing bad things, it's just ridiculous. The incessant attempts to slander me and to misrepresent me for the last 5 years, it's ridiculous. The obsession that people have with trying to convince the world that Reforge Gaming is a bad guy and a liar and he's exploiting his audience, right? And he's a creepy narcissist. I don't get it. Move on with your life. I just sit in a chair and hang out with my community and talk about video games, and if people want to support, they can support. A $5 super chat from Wired Rope. Another creator that barely streams also runs ads, and when people in their chat complain, they whispered, "Get ad block," instead of turning it off. A $10 super chat from Dark Taco says, "The gall of this man." Don't bother about these people. I don't. I ignore it. But like Lil Me Trips hangs out here on a regular basis. Spend the money however you want, but sub money should be going to essentials. Listen to me very carefully. I want you to hear this sentence, okay? It's none of your business. It's none of your business. If I took every cent I made from memberships and I spent it on candy to melt in a fire in some weird cultish ritual, that's my right. You have zero, and I mean zero, say in how I spend my money. I'm not standing on business. I'm standing on your head right now. You don't get to say how a man spends his money. You don't. So, in the word of the great poet The Rock, know your role and shut your mouth. Some of y'all have lost your entire plot and brain. You've lost it. You've completely lost the plot. Serious with the Member Plus, that's a brand new one, so it counts as 2. When you guys upgrade to Member Plus, or you sign up brand new, it's worth 2. And a 10 bomb from Mick D09 says, "Pocket watch this." And Candy Ritual Stream win, a $5 super chat tip from Dark Taco. Thank you so much. The obsession with constantly trying to convince people that I'm a bad guy and that I'm terrible and that I'm a piece of crap, like, I don't know how you can think that you're in the righteous position when you're going out of your way to, like, slander and insult me. I'm not doing that to anybody else. I've done everything I can over the years of constantly being attacked, maligned, and slandered to just take the path of peace. I've never attacked in return. And buddy, I could. Ant with a single gift that gets us to 379. Thank you very, very much. A $5 super chat from Games for Eternity. These dudes are just jealous and they can't handle your integrity. Here's more money. My guy. I appreciate you, Games for Eternity. Listen, I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to say what needs to be said. The stronger you try to convince people that someone's a bad guy, the less likely it's probably true. J-Dog with 36 months, 3 years. If you don't spend this on a third pro, I'm not subbing again for 3 years. Well, there it is. We're an exact 20 bomb away from 400, and now it's 381. A member plus renewal from Alex. Harry Potter and the audacity of this. Psst, who tells other people how they can spend their money? Seriously, Soul Train with 42 months and a member plus. Today's my last day at work. I'm retiring after 30 years. Thank you for the great show. You helped me get through my very long commute. Well, yo, Soul Train, congrats on the retirement, man. What an achievement, dude. That's big. That's big, man. Congrats. My dad retired 2 years ago, and it was big. It was a big deal. 2 spot from Wired Rope. This money should go to only Essential Bourbon. I will buy Essential Bourbon with it. And then V-Game Veteran, here's my contribution towards the bonfire of candies. And a 5 bomb comes in from J-Dog and gets us to 387, and then it's going to go to 388 before 1 is 0. Says, keep being you, Lono, thank you. And then a brand new member plus from Buckeye Plays. That's what we're working on. That's the number that matters the most, is people picking up their own memberships. And make sure you pick up member plus. Those count as 2. That's the most important number. The gifteds are fabulous. We love providing for the people that cannot afford a membership, but we need the number of folks picking up their own memberships to continue to rise. Can we do a member goal for the candy bonfire ritual? We need to do it as a meme now. I don't ask bands what they spend their money on when I buy their t-shirts, albums, or concert tickets. A member light from Lushy. Tell me you're stupid without telling me you're stupid. But stupid, I won't let you get the chance. Thank you, Lushy. The candy analogy low-key proved my point. You wouldn't mind spending the people's money on nonsense. It's not their money anymore, Lil Me Trip. Okay, I donated to a GoFundMe for somebody's funeral, okay? In this community, someone's mom died, and we are providing and trying to help pay for the funeral. That's not my money anymore, bro. It's not my money anymore. I gave it to him. He can buy dandelions if he thinks those are the right flowers for the funeral, because maybe his mom liked dandelions. I have no say in what he spends money on, because it's not my money anymore, bro. If I have a milkshake and a 5 bomb comes in from Hickman and it takes the member count to 395, but it's going to go to 396 because English O renewed their membership and said, I feel like I'm keep saving these milestones for when we need them. Here's to soaring high. Thank you, English O. These trolls are unhinged. That's what I'm saying. It's not your money anymore. Once you gift it as a member or a super chat, it becomes my money. Like, that's the way that it works. Once I gave money to that guy's GoFundMe, that's no longer my money anymore. It's now his money. Fuzzy says, I hear we're supposed to give you money. Here's $5. Thank you, Fuzzy, for the $5 super chat tip. Do you do this with any other streamer in existence? Seriously. I don't know why I'm the exception to everything. I don't know why. I rustle Jimmy's very effectively, I guess. Do you do this to any other streamer? Do you go ask them what they spend their money on? Because that's where most of their money comes from. It comes from people either doing super chats or memberships. Narwaffle with 34 months here. Keep taking my money. And a 5 spot from Sirius says, this isn't your money, by the way. And a 10 bomb comes in from Gambit Zero. And that takes us to 407. I'm not saying you're a bad person. I'm not saying you can't do whatever you want. I'd just be worried where my money would be going. And a 10 bomb comes in from Quintar, and it goes to 417. And a $5 super chat comes in from Spice King. What's this feeling? Money is being sucked out of my pocket by a mysterious force. Bro's not even a member here. Let me, like, there are streamers that, you know, bring up taxes and their expenses and things like that. And I tend not to do that. You know, I'll mention it. I'm a dad. It's just part of life, okay? I just paid a bunch in taxes that I didn't want to or feel like was a fair amount, but it is what it is. And then my basement just flooded. So I'm going to have to pay for that because insurance is fighting me and they didn't have the clause in there that was supposed to be in there. Whatever. You know, that's what they frickin' do. And then most of my earnings goes to my family and my home and my bills. I'm a dad with 2 kids and a wife, and we're single income. Do you have any idea, like, what you're saying and how, like ludicrous and insulting it is to seem that, like, oh, because he got 2 pros, he's just, like, living, like, some exorbitant life of just, like throwing money around on himself? Like, it's just ridiculous. Like, tell me that you don't have even a remote sense of the responsibility on my shoulders as a dad, as the single earner. You don't have a concept for the pressure on me. And if you think me buying 2 pros is like some kind of an example of like, yo, this guy's really living up a life of luxury. V-Game veteran with 22 months in a VIP. Please spend my money as frivolously as possible. And a $5 super chat from Jack Garland for the Confetto and for the Candy Fire. Also, my stinking CPA tells me that I never spend enough money. So spending things on the business, pros, monitors, a computer, like those are things I'm supposed to be doing because I'm constantly told I don't spend enough money. Because that's how you offset, you know, some of your taxes every year. You're not supposed to just like sit here and earn and not spend. You provide a service and people pay for that service. You are grafting and working hard from father to father. Respect. I appreciate that, Wooly. A $20 super chat from AOZ says, I'm not worried where my money is going. This man works harder for his money than anyone I have seen. Also, stop talking as if the money I give Lono is any of your business. I appreciate that, AOZ. First world millionaire problems. I'm trying to imagine HR calling me to ask about the GPUs and guitars I'm buying that I don't need. Right? I don't know. In this space, okay, that's how live streamers make the bulk of their earnings. That's just the facts. They make it from the community, right? Now, there's the big guys that sign contracts and stuff, and like, there was the one time it became known, like one of the big streamers signed a contract with Twitch and he actually wasn't getting money from the subs. And I felt like that should have been divulged to the public. I felt like the public should have been told, you're not actually supporting this guy. You think that you are, but you are not. He wasn't being paid off of his subs or his super chats or his bits anymore. It was all going to Twitch. He was being paid a flat fee but to Twitch. I feel like that should have been told to the public. I feel like that is... You know, there's a level of, I've got an ethical problem with that, right? People are being given the impression that they're directly supporting the creator and they are not. But in general, that's an exception, right? In general, across the board, that's how streamers primarily make their money. And the reason that I get called an e-beggar is because YouTube just doesn't have that culture. We're trying to foster that culture of, if you really like this daily show, if you really like the fact that I start streaming around 9 o'clock every morning with morning coffee and I end every day around 3 p.m. in the afternoon in Green Room, That's a large chunk of my day that I am giving to you in the form of live service. If you like that, that's how something like that keeps going. It is literally sponsored by the viewers. That's the only way that it works. You will never make enough ad revenue. Even like the really big streamers, they will never make enough ad revenue in the live environment to keep the lights on. Even the biggest streamers don't make enough in the ad revenue. They don't. They make the bulk. I mean, 80 to 90% of their income comes from the audience. I've never shied away from that. I've never tried to keep that a secret from the audience. I've been always open about how many members I have. You can get out a calculator and you can subtract the 30% that YouTube takes, and you can figure out on average what I'm making from the community support. And if you know anything about cost of living and being single income family of 4, then you know that I'm not living in opulence. I'm not like leaned back in a golden beanbag chair, drinking only the finest of drinks and eating only the finest of foods. And I refuse to spend money on myself to the point that the stream bought me a TV because I wouldn't upgrade my TV. I wouldn't upgrade my phone. I kept taking hand-me-downs from my wife, and she insisted that I finally buy a new phone for myself. You don't know me. You don't know what I'm about. So many of these people that want to make statements about me and say things about me, they don't know who I am. They don't know my life. They don't know how I live, my beliefs, my psychological journey, my spiritual journey. They don't know any of that. They create a figment in their mind, and they create a figment of their imagination so they can have something to wage war against because it makes them feel righteous. And then they don't have to work on their own issues. As long as they're taking a chunk out of Reforge Gaming and calling him scum or crap or garbage, it will make them feel good for a few seconds. They can't, that's psychology 101. Anybody who's spending their time attacking others and tearing others down, it's because they got their own issues. There's never been a time where that hasn't been true. There's never been a time where that hasn't been true. Let's get this man a golden beanbag. I don't know who you are. It's taken me all of my life to figure out who I am. Morning radio shows with 5 people don't have as much talk as Lono does going solo. I support Lono because no other streamer or YouTuber talks as much for so long and keeps it interesting. Go listen to any other streamer. No one runs their effing mouth the way Lono does. People that lack empathy don't understand that other people have just as complex and rich as an internal life as they do. They think everyone else is cardboard. I don't understand. I paid $7 for a membership. I now have a right to dictate the terms of your entire life. Yeah, I guess. I don't know who I am. That's why my life is always interesting. Single gifted from Peachy Creamy. Thank you very much. And thank you to the people who signed up brand new. I really do mean it. That's not a big culture on YouTube. It's something that we've been really trying to impress upon people that, $6 a month, what would cost you to buy a cup of coffee every month, will get you into a bunch, and I mean a bunch of extra, shows that we do. You figure out how you're doing the stream today for last Friday's one. I can't create more time, brother. You know what I mean? My house got flooded. You just got to let me take a pass on that, right? Like, I know I quote unquote owe you guys a stream. You're getting one tomorrow. I'm co-streaming the marathon event. You know what I mean? My house got flooded. I owe you a stream, but it's kind of like, maybe can we have grace and mercy for me to be like, yeah, he can't create another day or another stream. It just is impossible, you know? Candy ritual, yeah. You were trying to think of a way? I was trying to think of a way. I can't come up with anything. I don't know. It's called taking a sick day. I literally changed my plans to watch Lono play Schedule 1, and even I forgave him. Oh yeah, we were going to have Madam play Schedule 1. We still need to do that. Should we do like a double header? Maybe have her play Schedule 1 and play Blueprints. It'll probably be more entertaining to watch her play Schedule 1. I forgot about that. You owe me a 30-minute conversation. I was just chatting on my own. I know. It was 30 minutes, silly. I felt so bad. I came back in, and I was like, it's a disaster, bro. We literally, the scariest thing about the flood was we couldn't figure out where the water was coming from. And when my daughter said, I think it's coming from the ground, when that reality settled on me, it was like, oh my gosh, it's coming from the earth itself. And a single gift that comes in from Bro Sexy. Thank you so much, Bro Sexy. And another one comes in from Bro Sexy. He's trying to tempt somebody to do the 5-bomb, the 425. Thank you so much. That was Blueprints. I really liked it. I really did. I really enjoyed it. I was anticipating enjoying it, but it got its hooks in me. It was like you get into a game like that, and then you're like, man, just one more. Man, just one more. Can I just get one more? One more. Like you start to kind of figure out the systems, and you know. And Gambit Zero takes the bait and gets us to 425. Thank you so much, Gambit Zero. And another one comes in from Enjoy. That is an Agent of Chaos. 426, past the milestone. I owe you guys 5 members right now. The only thing that annoyed me was the dartboard puzzle. Once I figured it out, it was a cool puzzle. If you watch the last bit I say, if it's coming up from below, Lono's effed. Yeah, dude. Yeah, man. It is, it's something. That's like biblical flood at that point, right? When it's coming up from the ground itself. It's like, so it's not coming through the walls. It's not coming from the windows. A 10 spot from Wooly. Here's a token of my appreciation for the consistent, reliable, and quality content. Appreciate you. Keep on keeping on. I'm moving into a new house Wednesday. Exciting times. Yo, congrats, Wooly. That's big, man. By the way, are the walls holding up? Yeah. That was the absolute insanity of it, Jaster. Record rainfall, and not a single drop from the walls or the windows in the basement. Nothing. I was like, wow, they really did a good job waterproofing this basement. They did such a good job waterproofing the basement that the water was like, we can't get in through the sides. What about coming from underneath? Freaking nuts, man. It's unheard of. Yeah, my son's got the Minecraft. He's got the Minecraft soap from Dr. Squatch. They were at Target, and it was like, for whatever reason, it had been marked down significantly. It was like on sale or whatever. Sending people to the... All of a sudden, I'm getting a bunch of comments on the marathon video. Jiminy Christmas. The marathon video is not hate. It isn't hate. It's like, I literally say within the first 30 seconds of the video that, like, I'm not talking about the gameplay. It could be a good game. It could be a fun game. I'm talking about how they're setting it up as a live service game, I think is setting up the game for failure. I know it's difficult to actually, like, investigate or look into what I've said before coming to a conclusion. I know that's hard. You got to use your brain, but gee, many Christmas. I've just uploaded on YouTube an example of how you can pretty much scale everything with Yasuke with a little forethought. I don't know what your local codes are, but the water probably came up from the basement drain due to the record rain. No. It did not come up from the drain. I mean this literally, homie. From the ground. Every foundation settles and gets cracks in it. That's just what happens. If you walk through someone's basement and it's unfinished and you look at the cement floor, there's going to be cracks. Homie, it came up from the earth itself. I'm not being hyperbolic. I'm not being like exaggeratory. It wasn't from like a drain. The water table got so dadgum high, people's basements were just filling with water from the earth. From the earth itself. It sounds crazy. It sounds like a biblical like flood, because that's kind of what it was. It was like it rained so much that it was like, burp. How dare you say I have cracks in my basement? It came in from the concrete seams. Yeah. Yep. It was nuts. My wife and I took shop vacs and we put them. There was a crack next to the fireplace, like the mantle in the tile. There was a crack in the grout, and there was a crack further in the room. And we just put shop vacs on those cracks, propped them on a chair. Every 20 to 30 minutes, we were emptying. One was a 14-gallon, the other was a 16-gallon. We were roughly emptying about 12 gallons worth of water from each of them, 24 gallons. So roughly every 20 to 30 minutes, we're hauling 200 pounds worth of water out of my basement. We basically saved the finished side. The unfinished side, there was nothing we could do. The cement was just filling, and the water was just kind of everywhere, and eventually it subsided. My main concern was saving the finished side. That's all I cared about. Concrete's porous. It doesn't need to be cracked to let water in. Well, in any case, yeah, that's what happened. So we spent 8 hours doing that. 8 hours. I would set a timer on my phone. We would go upstairs and sit down to rest, because that was the only way we were going to get through the night, was if we forced ourselves to rest. And so that's what we did. And the insurance call did not go well, because the lady was like, flood insurance is supposed to be on there by default, and she's like, for whatever reason, it's not on yours. And I'm like, what? And she's the one that set it up, so she's trying to fix it. When we bought the house 5 years ago, we contacted the company and said, we need an insurance policy. Here's the sheet. Here's the valuation sheet for the home. Until we get the insurance policy, the bank can't approve the loan. So we get the insurance policy. We send it to the bank. The bank approves the loan. We get the house. I didn't think that I had to check every jot and tittle of the insurance policy, because it was my agent. My agent's supposed to take care of me. And for whatever reason, she set up the policy without flood insurance. I can guarantee she's lying to you. She's not. I went and I found the email. I found the policy. She's like, it's supposed to be on there every time. I'm not talking to the insurance company, by the way. I'm talking to an agent that gets a kickback on the policy. And she quite literally was like, I don't understand how this happened. She's like, we would never do this. She's like, we would only ever set up a policy without flood insurance if the client specifically asks. And I did not specifically ask. A lot of them don't want to cover flood. Again, I'm not talking to the insurance company now. I'm talking to the agent that set up the policy. The company was just like, there's no flood coverage here. And she's like, you're going to have to contact your agent. So I contacted the agent, and the agent is like, she's like, I don't understand this. She's like, I'm going to have to look into it. She's like, we're going to contact the underwriter and see if we can't get it added and get them to cover any work that you need done. She's like, because it should have been on there. So she's taking, at some level, she's taking responsibility. But it's probably not going to be covered. So. Okay, so it's 8 minutes to 1. I want to give you guys a chance to hit the goal. I don't want to end. But I do have a video about The Last of Us Complete Edition that we are going to run today and send you to, and then we are going to do a stream with Hilly. But we're going to keep on going. We're going to keep on streaming. So let me clear the question queue. There was only one question there about Mafia the Old Country, because that's been cleared. There. Insurance always finds a way to not cover something. Well, in this case, it's not the insurance company. The insurance company was like, you don't have coverage. And so I went to the agent, and the agent's like, yeah, whenever this account got set up, for whatever reason, it was set up without it. A mistake was made. They're not like, the insurance company's like not trying to like weasel their way out of paying. So, and here, I owe you guys 5. I'll try to get it started here. Let's try to get a run to 5 started. I'll do the 5 that I owe you guys for 425. The lighting in this game. Yeah, the lighting in the game in Assassin's Creed Shadows, like I could waste an entire evening just constantly stopping and taking pictures. You can start at 2 your time. That's perfect, Hilly. But she knew what she was doing. It wasn't a mistake. No. Kevin, you understand the agent gets more money if the policy's more expensive. That doesn't make any sense. The agent wouldn't intentionally set up a policy without flood insurance. She would get more money. What you're saying is completely backwards. Like, she would get more money when she sets up the account if she has a more expensive policy. She gets a kickback for setting it up. It should be standard. Yeah, the problem is, again, they set it without it. Insurance companies are increasingly excluding flood coverage. Well, I don't know what to tell you. We don't need to talk about my flood woes, though. It is what it is. I've gotten very good at accepting, things not going my way. I've tried to get, as good as you can. As good as you can get at just accepting that, things don't always go your way. Hold on to your documents. Oh, for sure. What games are coming out next week? Let's see. If you go to releases.com and you go to the next month, it's easier to scroll up. Releases.com has been really slow, though. They changed their layout. Yeah, it takes forever to pull up now. Yeah, Expedition 33 is in 2 weeks. I feel like there is something next week, though, and I can't remember what it is. I felt like April was the beginning of one game a week. Steam has added the label of coming soon to Silksong. Yeah, I can't get releases.com to even work. They have ruined, I swear they've ruined their site. It used to be such a great website and such a great resource, and it is literally trash now. Like I can't even get to pull up. Oh, Mandragora is next week. Maybe that's what I'm thinking about. I might be thinking of Mandragora. That's on the 17th. That is next week on Thursday. I'm probably thinking about that. Let's just cycle it according to dates. Like Steam database can be helpful sometimes. So, yeah, so the 14th. Not seeing much on the 14th. Not seeing much on the 16th. I think it's Mandragora. I think that's the one that we were probably thinking of. Bionic Bay is also next week. That's that really weird platforming one with like time pausing, time rewinding, stuff like that. And a 50 bomb from MASH. There it is. Thank you, MASH. Jiminy Christmas. The generosity from this guy is just absurd. Thank you very much, MASH. He shows up. He does. He does. MASH's got to be like 300 of those subs. Really generous. Yep. It's one of the reasons we continue to impress upon people who get gifteds, to, if you can, bump up. Member Plus is $6. Get out of the gifted funnel. It makes room for others. It makes us, a little less dependent upon, big gifted trains. We keep living through a lot of never before seen, once in a lifetime experiences. Yeah. I gift because of the community we fostered, open to disagreements and great discussions. Well, I appreciate it, MASH. Genuinely. Like, yeah. It's it's easy to get really, discouraged and kind of beaten down in this industry. It's what, it's what people want, I think. And I'm a little too stubborn to ever let them win. Try as they might, I'm not going anywhere. What are you guys talking about? Broken if something's the standard? He just said they always standard and it's included. If it's supposed to be there, that isn't because of a clerical error. It should be covered. Yeah. Yo, thank you, Stone Spire, man. A single gifted from Stone Spire. I know what Stone Spire's probably going to do here. He's going to want to bait a 20 bomb. Emphasis on a little. A little what, Wheezy? And another one comes in from Stone Spire. He's going to bump this to 480. I know it. This man is so faithful. He wants that 20 bomb. He wants it. He wants it for himself. And Mike on the mic's going to disrupt the whole thing. Cactar King's going to disrupt the whole thing. And we're going to end up with, what is that? A single and a 5 and a single. That's 2 singles and a 5. Oh, that's perfect. That's 45. $5 super chat. This is for your candy ritual only. Thank you so much, Sorcerer. Yes, there is a Hilly stream today, yes. I just said a little. I'll leave it at that. And Stone Spire's going to gift another one and get us to 486. I've been playing AC Shadows for 3 weeks now. I can safely say one thing. Japan has too many mountains. I definitely get to Billy Goatin with my horse. Like Skyrim level mountain Billy Goatin. I do. I really, really do, dude. Let's see here. Hang on 1 second. I gotta see, what are people typing here? Yeah. And another one from Stone's. Wait, are you doing? Oh, I know what he's doing. That's 2 more. Thank you so much. 488 from Stone Spire. And there's another one. 489. He's gonna try to roll us to 490. I know what he's doing. No. Okay. Visibility set to a premiere today. We'll do. Today at 1:45. Yeah. We've been thinking, yo, it's good, Marla. We've been thinking that scheduling the premieres a little bit further out might help them. Is that another? Did he do all 4 now? Wait, where should the count be? 489? Did he roll us to 490 yet? I don't even know. There it is. Okay. 490. Sorry, I was getting the upload ready, and I was like not able to look at chat, so I was making sure I was giving you credit for all the ones that you've done. But yeah, I've been definitely Billy Goatin in Assassin's Creed Shadows. XCal with the VIP. Thank you so much. If I ever had a Japanese friend or take in an exchange student, I'm taking them to Nevada or Nebraska. The planes would blow their mind. Yo, XCal with the gifted member. Thank you so much. It gets us to 492. And a VIP from Raphael McCoy. Thanks for sticking with me, Raphael. Thanks for all the content. You're the best. Well, thank you. Almost an entire year of support. Appreciate you. And another one from Raphael, 494. Checking the feeds. See if anything's going on in the news. And V Game Veteran's going to bump it to 495. We're now a 5 bomb away from 500. We'll see if someone takes the glory and blasts it up. Japan is literally just a desert. What do you mean? I feel like he was joking about how, and Pathalon Phoenix does it with the 5 bomb. Perfectly lands us on 500. We did it. We did it. We kept the streak alive. We hit the goal with one less day. You guys did it. I took Monday off because my body was broken. It was tough. It was tough. I owe you guys 20. I'm going to do that now. Oh. Appreciate you guys being here on a Friday, man. We try to fill Friday with a lot of different activities and a lot of different streams. Die Hard Man actor. What was his name? Tommy Earl Jenkins. Did he leave Twitter? I thought he was on Twitter for a long time. Yeah, he must have left Twitter. Yeah, he was on Twitter for a while. I remember seeing his tweets. He must have decided to bail when a lot of people bailed. He's a friend of mine. He's called James Earl Jenkins. Yeah, I can't. I feel like we were mutuals on Twitter, and I can't find him anymore. I used to see his tweets all the time. He was fun. He was a funny guy. Walked away for a split second. We're at 500. We did it. We did it. He used to follow me. Yeah, I can't find him. I mean, a lot of people a while back just left Twitter. They just didn't want to be on it anymore. So maybe he did as well. Mike, what are you doing? Mike on the mic with the Agents of Chaos. I don't even have a stretch. I think the stretch goal last week was that we were going to make Madam play Schedule 1. She is going to play Schedule 1 tonight. I'll make good on that. And then we're going to have her also play Blueprints to see what she thinks of Blueprints. So... Broken Lobo says, we all look alike. No worries. Stop. There's got to be a secret Soviet spy game that Madam can play. I don't know. Safe travels, MASH. I fly out to Brazil for vacation tonight, so off till April 20th. Hope you all keep the great discussions going. Appreciate you, MASH. Thank you, brother. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys just heard it. You're going to have to try to, it'll be the true test. Can y'all do it next week without our boy MASH? Can you do it? Although South of Midnight lacks in combat, I do, however, find the platforming really fun. I was actually worried primarily about the platforming because when the previews came out, there were sections that looked really, like, clunky. The platforming is one of the best parts. It's very fluid. It's very responsive. Yeah, the combat's, like, with some polish, I really think they could elevate the game quite a bit. That's its only, in my 2 hours with the game, that was its only weak spot. You know? What's this Jurassic Park thing? The team at Saber Interactive and Universal are about to start an exciting day of planning. Hatching fresh ideas may take time, but it's worth it. Jurassic Park? Like, oh, like they're making a game? Interesting. MASH is secretly Lono's rich uncle or an escaped convict. If I secretly had a rich uncle, I would not be doing what I've been doing the last 5 years. I want to say thanks. You made me realize my self-talk about money is wrong. I'm actually very disciplined and responsible. I don't know why I saw myself otherwise. I can't tell if Zubair is being serious or not. I can't tell. I really can't. He's definitely the IRL Gus Fring. I don't even have MASH's contact information. You know? I'd be half tempted to contact him to be like, let me come work for you. What do you do again? You know what I mean? It'd be really tempting. I've been tempted to do that with Ghost in the Garage Gaming. Like, let me come and work for you. Let me ride off in the sunset out of this chaotic mess. A 92%. Yeah, South of Midnight's got a good score, yeah, with the users. I'm being serious. I always say I'm stupid with money, but I have no credit card debt and I don't overspend. It doesn't matter if I buy silly things with the money that I have. Yeah. No one is watching Xbox Live. They're streaming Endless Zone. Huh? What are you talking about? There's no Xbox stream today. There were leaks about the showcase that we covered in today's stream. Game Pass still has some great stuff on the way. I'm excited for Wu Chang Fallen Feathers. That's a day one Game Pass. Well, and you just got Blueprints on Game Pass. And then you're going to get Expedition 33. And then you're going to get Doom the Dark Ages. Yeah, this is one of the... I think this is probably for the gen, this is the strongest year for Game Pass. Yeah. Yeah. I was going to ask if Match provides you with a W2. No. Based on our earlier convo, I did indeed go get chicken and wedges. Yeah. There's a place downtown where it's called Indy's Chicken. And they're behind bulletproof glass. So you know the food's good. And they have grape Kool-Aid on tap. And they have JoJo's they're like spicy. They are, I mean, they're crazy good. I mean, they're so good that you almost could just go there and get that. But the chicken is also just stupid good. They kind of compete with each other. You're like, I don't know which I want to eat more. That's how good both the potato wedges and the chicken are. You don't know JoJo? It's a potato wedge. It's another word for potato wedge. My bad, it's Zenless Zone on the Xbox YouTube channel. We have Brothers Chicken. Never heard of that. Spicy I'm in. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It looks good though. Zenless Zone's been out for a while, isn't it? It's making its way to Xbox now, isn't it? Let me go and check. It's much better than at launch. Let's see here. Xbox channel. Yeah, they're doing a Zenless Zone Zero Xbox Spotlight right now. They've been streaming for 47 minutes. Actually, no. The countdown, they've been streaming for about 20 minutes and doing like interviews and stuff. Isn't this a gacha though? Like, it looks dope. I'm not gonna lie. Like, the graphics look dope. The heads-up display reminds me of like toys from the 80s for some reason. Thought it was a new game. It's new to Xbox. It's a gacha. Yeah, I'd be careful with that one. It's from the Genshin devs. Yeah, you got to be careful with the gachas, dude. You really, really do. My one of my relatives was texting me and had just spent a stupid amount of money on a gacha, and I was like, "Why don't do that? Don't do that." Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, exactly. That's what I always hear. Gotcha. You know firsthand you got to be careful. You do. You really do. Like, you can spend a fortune in the blink of an eye. But, oops. Lucky you never had the gambling gene. Yeah, I've never ever been tempted to even like buy a scratch off or do like a slot machine. I've never had that. I haven't. I've said this before. Like, if I wasn't married with kids, I'd probably be dead. I probably would have, especially back, post 2020, I'd have drunk myself to death. Right? I don't think I have like the gene, but I think it would have grabbed a hold of me. It totally would. I would have lived at the bottom of a bottle until I ended up in a grave. It got dark, man. It got really dark back then. I gained a bunch of weight. It was like, yeah. The only peace was sleep, man. The only peace was sleep. It's one of those things where like you wake up and you're like, why do I already feel terrible? Oh yes, and like everything comes rushing back in. Like, it was rough, man. Been a long, long road, and clearly that road's not not really smoothed out all the way just yet. There you go. Thank God it's all been completely put to rest and it never comes up anymore. Yeah, exactly, Zuby. Those games are pretty bad. What always kind of bums me out about the gacha games is they always look really fun. Right? They always look really fun. Like I look at the Zenless Zone Zero. I look at Genshin and I'm like, that looks really fun. Quick, somebody post a side-by-side of what Lono and now looked like. Oh, back when I was in, like, my heaviest. Yeah, I don't know if I was my heaviest here. This was when... So this was 4 years ago. This was December of 2020. This was December of 2020. That's what I looked like. So I think that's like 160. I'm like 160. I think my max the heaviest I got was like 163 or something like that. Right now I'm like 147. I'm actually finally like under 150. But yeah, that's what I looked like in December of 2020. So from the summer to December, it was bad, dude. It was bad. Immortals Phoenix is your favorite Ubisoft game? Immortals Phoenix Rising is one of those games that, like, I always kind of wish they would have, and I know it's a bit of a meme with me, but that would have been so fun co-op. Like, I always felt like the open world and the climbing and the, you know, it could have been a really fun game to play with another person. Cheeks like a squirrel. 160 is heaviest is wild. But I'm small, Omar. You were skinny fat. I've never claimed that I was fat, but I gained all that weight from the summer when everything happened to that December. That's when I gained all the weight. I just drank every night. It was like the only thing that I would literally go outside. In the summer I did this, obviously not in the winter. In the summer, and I would just water the garden. I would just stand and just water the garden. It was like this one place I could go that like kept me grounded to a certain degree. And then we would put the kids to bed, and then I would just, we'd throw on a show or something, and I would just drink. Because I just wanted to be able to fall asleep. I couldn't fall asleep. It was terrible. Imagine a 10-year-old child telling you they weigh 160. That's what Lono is telling you. It's not that extreme. It's not that extreme. But yeah, a 5'6" small frame guy, getting into the 160s. That's pretty heavy, I can attest the stress of not passing the bar and family health has done a number on me. Yeah. Your 19th zone, probably 245. What's this a clip of? Oh, that was me playing that stupid. I was looking at Witchfire animated GIFs, and then it rolled over to a naughty one. Yeah. And somebody clipped it and made me yell yes because they took it from my Returnal stream. You're from Ohio. You never heard of a wedge as a JoJo? I'm from Northern Ohio, and we always called them JoJos. There was a local pizza place that my dad would get chicken and JoJos from, along with the pizza. And they were really good too. You're 260 currently? I mean, yeah, it's relative. You got to figure out the best way to live a healthy, a healthy life, as best you can, Yeah, there's a marathon gameplay stream tomorrow. We're gonna watch it. Yeah. Do you know anything about the game Helix? I feel like we've seen that. Did you release a video? What video? I've got a video coming up about The Last of Us Complete Edition. And then... Oh, I need to schedule the stream with Hilly so The Last of Us premiere can send people to the stream with Hilly. Let me get that ready. Let's see. That'll be at 2. I don't think almost anybody passes the bar the first time. Isn't the odds of passing it the first time like infinitesimally small or something like that? You you basically expect to not pass it on the first try, right? All right, save that. And then we'll have the Hilly stream loop back. Yeah, there should be a town hall, yes. Have you heard of the game Paradise? No, I don't think so. The first time bar exam typically falls within 60 to 80% depending on the state. Oh, 60 to 80% pass it on the first time? The overall first time pass rate for the bar is 80. Oh, I thought it was the other way around. I thought pretty much everybody just anticipated failing the first time. I had a near nervous breakdown between day 1 and 2. I woke up the second day and basically did an entire second day's worth of questions before doing another 6 hours of testing. Jeepers. New York's 80% first try. That's why I make fun of the people when they don't pass. That's why Kirk had a fit when I poked him about it. Oh. So if the 80% is the first time pass rate, but you fail multiple times... I've always felt like that's what I heard about the bar, was that you just need to anticipate failing the first time. It sounds like that's not true. It sounds like 80% pass it first time. Like, that's actually I would say that's a pretty good ratio. The rate for all takers is 10% lower, so people fail multiple times. Huh. It's way tougher than the pass rates would have you believe. Well, certainly, I don't think the pass rates communicate that it's easy. It's to me, I was always under the impression that it's like a high first-time fail rate. 20% is not very high for a first-time fail rate. What are we talking about this afternoon? I've got a video about The Last of Us Complete Edition that's going live soon. We've got a stream with Hilly. And then we've got the stream tonight with Madam. We're going to have Madam play Schedule 1, the drug dealer game that you guys unlocked that last week. And then we've got the stream tomorrow with Marathon. Then we've got the IRL stream tomorrow. I'll be hanging out in my backyard with you guys. And we hit the 500 goal this week, even being a day short. And then Mike on the mic decided to go Agent of Chaos and bump it to 501. We don't have a stretch goal for this week, so we're not trying to hit the 600. That is not something that we're doing. And it looks like Bungie is doing something tomorrow, even before they go live on Twitch. They're going to do something like earlier in the day. All my knowledge of the bar exam is from the film The Firm with Tom Cruise, and they kept telling him that no associates at the firm had ever failed. If you put the USMLE exams to the general public and let them study, the pass rate would probably be sub 50%. Yeah, going for and getting a bachelor's and a master's, my issue isn't that, like, because I've got a friend, two different friends that are working on their PhDs, and I could have done it, but I would have lacked the motivation. I just really would have severely lacked the motivation, because I didn't want to do any more school. I didn't want to do any more languages. Like, I wouldn't have been able to do it for sheer lack of motivation. Because that was the reason I chose the degree that I chose. Like, I didn't want to do any more Greek and Hebrew. Like, I just couldn't do it. I could do it. I just didn't want to. I got straight A's in both the languages, but I did not want to do any more. I was just so burnt out on the idea. Could have been Dr. Lono. I love the idea of teaching. I kind of miss it. I miss teaching. You know, I love the idea of writing. I love the idea of writing books. I've got, a handful of book ideas and things I want to do. But just not in the cards for me right now. That's why I dropped out of John Jay. Pure lack of motivation. Get ChatGPT to write your books for you. I've actually got a fiction series, a trilogy in my mind and roughly outlined and character sketches already. And I actually think it would do really well, but I just don't have any time. I don't have any time. My average in high school, gifted and advanced placement, was 96%. Undergrad, 92. Med school, 85. Man. I've been happy stopping my at my master's and not going the PhD path. Tired of school. Yeah, it's just... I felt like I was in school for a really, really long time because I didn't want to take out loans. So, like, I would only take the classes that I could pay for. So my bachelor's took a long time. I did my master's a lot faster because I told my wife, I was like, if I'm going to do my master's, then I quit my job. I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to go crazy. I'm going to go at it like full steam. So I was taking 15 hours at a time. I was doing J terms. You know. What day of the week? Haven't figured out how my anxiety works, honestly. I hate school so much. I hate learning the way they teach in school. I'm more of a hands-on. Helping my daughter with her homework really drives home how much I wouldn't have been able to do a PhD. I just wouldn't have been able to do it. Like writing papers, I would have lost my dadgum mind. You know? I really would have. And I mean, I'm regularly writing for this, for what I do here. But even that, I've kind of dialed back from like the full-on monologue, and I've gone more bullet point, so that I kind of vamp more. I feel like the vibe of the videos are better when I do that. Like it feels more like I'm talking to you and just kind of hanging out and free flowing, than like a wooden read. So you graduate in December with a BA, but man, it's tough to stay motivated. Yeah, it is. It's not easy. It is not easy at all. Yo, Polarin with 24 months. That's 2 whole years, dude. Back to red. Cheers, Lono. Back to bed. There you go. He made his renewal. He made his renewal rhyme. Looks like we're gonna end the week at 5:02. Thank you, Polarin. I've been using ChatGPT to learn stuff for my home labbing, and it's a really useful tool. I can get it to feed me information as fast as I want, as opposed to watching a YouTube video. Yeah. I'm not good at the reading stuff, the writing, listening, and retention. I'm good at problem solving and watching something. Yeah, like traditional test taking and stuff, and like a lot of the research they've done, like when a test is timed, you know, there's a lot of things that create, you know, internal angst and anxiety that really, really dislodges and disrupts good thinking for people. So it's unfortunate that some of the testing methods, especially, you know, really make it hard on folks. Everything worth doing is hard, and it's not easy for anybody. Some people just hide it better than others. Could generalized anxiety only show up in certain situations? Or have I just gotten good at not acknowledging it exists? I mean, there are healthy versions of anxiety. Like, just basic concern and worry is not a problem. It means you're invested. It means you care about something if you're concerned about what the outcome will be. Anxiety becomes a problem when it becomes a paralyzing form of anxiety. If it gives you a form of like choice paralysis, or, if it disrupts just normal life, like you can't go to dinner with people, or, you know what I mean? All emotions are there are no such thing as like bad emotions. You are allowed to feel angry, sad, worried, right? You're allowed to feel these things. It's when you feel them disproportionately. If you have a disproportionate amount of anger and you're raging and you're untethered, a disproportionate amount of sadness, disproportionate amount of anxiety, that's when it becomes low-level debilitating, maybe high-level debilitating, like it completely disrupts your life and your relationships. So that's why it's okay to be honest with yourself and others about whatever emotion you're feeling. Emotions are also basically signals of something that's inside. So if you're angry or sad about something, it's good to press against and ask why. Why are you angry or sad about those things, right? You're just it's a deeper journey of self-discovery of like why certain things might make you mad or why certain things might make you happy, right? And that a lot of the times I think people think that, oh, it's a bad emotion, I shouldn't feel it, right? Like a lot of the times, men especially, right? We think that sadness is a sign of weakness and anger is a sign of strength. And so we'll lean more into explosive anger and we'll push down and hide sadness when they're both perfectly fine. But, you know, healthy expressions of sadness and anger are, I think, a common struggle, especially for men in the West. He can't do that, creature. That's illegal. We got hit 18 times on Spotify? No, that's illegal. That is not allowed. He's going to get sued, and rightfully so. You can't put out music DMCA free, get a bunch of people to use it, and then rug pull and start copyright claiming. That is quite literally illegal. You can't do that. He's going to get sued. Creature's telling me we can't use Harris Heller's music anymore. Don't say that out loud. What do you mean? If we're getting hit with copyright claims on his music, I bet you they're false claims. I bet you they're false claims. You can't do that. I've got to spam the link for the video on the Last of Us. I'm going to redirect you guys over to it. The video's starting right now. I bet you they're false claims. I don't think Harris Heller's doing that. That doesn't sound like something he would do. He seems like he does things on the up and ups. Okay, I'll see you guys over there. Click the link in chat. I'll redirect you.